Chapter 2341. Look what I've brought back for you. The heavenly dragon, who was struggling with the cold star ice crystal, suddenly sensed something was wrong and looked back. His huge dragon eyes nearly popped out. His eyes widened. What the hell? Above Lin Moyu's head, a vortex had formed. One end of the vortex was connected to the dragon god tree branch, and large amounts of energy from the dragon god tree were being sucked away by the vortex. The heavenly dragon's eyelids twitched. I told you to absorb, but not like this. Lin Moyu was immersed in cultivation and didn't hear anything. He just kept absorbing. In fact, it was the 10-colored dragon soul crystal that was absorbing. The dragon god tree branch contained some mysterious power that not only helped with cultivation but was even more beneficial to dragons. The dragon soul crystal was a dragon treasure, so it naturally benefited as well. Out of instinct, the 10-colored dragon soul crystal was greedily devouring the mysterious power from the dragon god tree branch. The 10th color gradually became more vibrant. Lin Moyu didn't care if it was too much. He just kept saying, absorb, absorb, absorb as much as you can. The heavenly dragon stared for a while but found he couldn't do anything about it. He had said it himself, telling Lin Moyu to absorb as much as possible. He couldn't go back on his word now. As the mighty heavenly dragon, he had to maintain some face. Whatever, the dragon god tree can regenerate automatically anyway. It just takes some time. Besides, now that I've reached Celestial Venerable, the dragon god tree branch doesn't have much use for me anymore. Thinking this way made him feel much better. He turned back to continue melting the cold star ice crystal. The 100,000-meter tall dragon god tree branch gradually lost its luster under the frenzied absorption of the 10-colored dragon soul crystal. The 10-colored dragon soul crystal absorbed nearly half of its mysterious power before finally taking complete form. The 10th color became as abundant as the other 9 colors, with all 10 colors in perfect balance. The fully formed 10-colored dragon soul crystal let out a loud dragon roar that echoed throughout the Rule World. At the same time, it spewed out a large amount of dragon breath onto Lin Moyu's soul. As the dragon breath burned, Lin Moyu felt no harm at all. Instead, he looked like he was enjoying it. His soul became purer in the dragon breath, with many impurities being refined away. Unknowingly, Lin Moyu's soul gained an indescribable nobility and was imbued with a strong dragon aura. Bang! As his soul became purer and stronger, the bottleneck shattered. Lin Moyu finally stepped into the Half-Step Supreme realm. Half-Step Supreme still belonged to the Other Shore realm, and could be considered the peak of the Other Shore. This level was much stronger than Saint Venerable but somewhat weaker than a true Supreme. The difference was that the rule world of a Supreme contained the power of origin, gaining recognition from the world. They could utilize the power of origin in battle. The power of origin was very strong. But some powerful half-step Supremes had spells that incorporated the power of origin. Truly powerful half-step Supremes could potentially defeat the weakest Supremes. Like Lin Mohan, who had combat power equivalent to a Supreme when she was at half-step Supreme. If she encountered a trash-tier Supreme, Lin Mohan would still be able to kill them. After becoming a half-step Supreme, Lin Moyu continued cultivating for a while, feeling his spells become even stronger. Except for the Skeleton Hell, almost every spell would grow stronger along with his realm. The Skeleton Divine General should also be at half-step Supreme now. When forming the Undead Legion, it shouldn't be weaker than a mid-level Supreme. Going all out, the Skeleton King should be able to compete with high-level Supremes. As for the Skeleton Hell, forget it, that thing doesn't listen very well. But it's still useful. Below Supreme, it can kill as many as come. It's a pity there's no time to upgrade it to Supreme level. Otherwise, no matter how many Supremes the Battle Realm sends, it wouldn't be enough. As his realm increased, his physical body improved as well. The immortal golden body became even stronger. Lin Moyu knew that with just his physical body alone, he could now fight against beings like the human emperor. His soul had long since reached the Supreme level. Now it had taken another small step forward, firmly establishing itself within the Supreme realm. The soul was the foundation of the Rule World. With his soul at Supreme level, it paved the way for Lin Moyu. As long as he had enough power of origin, Lin Moyu could step into the Supreme realm. However, if Lin Moyu wanted to become a Supreme of the Great World, he would need to cross the divine path and gain recognition from the Great World. Soul, spells, physical body, all were strong. Lin Moyu realized his foundation was extremely solid, with almost no weaknesses. Finishing his cultivation, he slowly opened his eyes, only to find the starry sky completely silent. The heavenly dragon was gone, having disappeared to who knows where. The cold star ice crystal was also gone, vanished without a trace. Only the dragon god tree branch that had half its power absorbed remained, now only 50,000 meters tall, half its original height. Where did he go? Lin Moyu didn't leave. With the dragon god tree branch still here, the heavenly dragon wouldn't have gone far. No matter where he went, he would return sooner or later. In the human star domain, the human emperor suddenly issued the highest order. All human cultivators were to withdraw back into the star domain and not allowed to leave. All outbound transmission arrays for humans were closed. The human star domain was completely sealed off. The army mobilized and began to assemble. Everyone was confused. The Great War had clearly ended, so why was this happening? Could it be that new enemies were coming? But the human emperor network gave no explanation, only telling everyone to continue cultivating and not slack off. The human race now had sufficient resources. Even without going out to seek opportunities, they had enough for cultivation. Most people had no objections to the human emperor's orders. But there were always some troublemakers who refused to listen. When told not to do something, they insisted on doing it. For such people, the human emperor didn't bother managing them, letting them leave as they pleased. However, from then on, they would never again be qualified to return. The human emperor revoked their status as members of the human race. It sounded cruel, but the great world had always been cruel. The older generation of humans had experienced that cruelty before. They understood what needed to be done. Some of the new generation hadn't experienced it, especially some geniuses who didn't know their own limits. So let them experience it for themselves. The consequences of not following orders were, well, they would find out soon enough. The human emperor didn't even announce punishments for those who left privately, which led to even more people leaving. These people were no longer part of the human race and would never be qualified to return. The human star domain was sealed off and entered a state of martial law. In one area of the human star domain, dozens of star systems were concentrated, also covered by human arrays. The starfish people lived here. They had relocated a second time, bringing their planetary resources to the human domain. This was unavoidable. If the battle realm really came, they wouldn't be able to resist its attacks on their own. Just one supreme would be enough to exterminate them. After discussion, Yuchime made the decision to relocate the entire clan to the human star domain. Only this way would they have a glimmer of hope for survival. If the humans were defeated, they could only die together. There were 2 or 3 other small clans who had no objections at all. They originally had no ability to protect themselves and completely followed the human race. At this moment, less than 100 years remained until the arrival of the battle realm. In the boundary area, after waiting for 2 full years, the silent starry sky finally changed. A huge rift suddenly appeared in space, and the heavenly dragon rushed out from it. He was soaking wet, water dripping from his body. The heavenly dragon laughed heartily, "I'm back." Lin Moyu looked at the heavenly dragon. "You went to the realm sea." The water on the heavenly dragon's body was from the realm sea. Obviously, he had gone to the realm sea. The heavenly dragon shouted, "You already know the answer, why ask? You recognize the water from the realm sea." Lin Moyu said, "You're injured." He saw that some of the heavenly dragon's scales were broken, and there were several places where even the flesh was torn, still bleeding. He waved his hand, sending out a stream of life force onto the heavenly dragon's body to heal him. Feeling the abundant life force, the heavenly dragon laughed, "Wonderful. Just some flesh wounds. Look what I've brought back for you." Chapter 2342, 2342. Chapter 2342, Which fallen dragon is it? Tianlong opened his mouth and spat out 3 objects. In an instant, a dense source of power spread wildly in the starry sky. Lin Moyu squinted his eyes. "Source crystals. They seem a bit different." In front of him were 3 pill-like objects, larger than pills, and several times bigger than a normal human head, with a diameter of about half a meter. They were round and seemed somewhat soft. "What are these?" Lin Moyu asked, not ashamed to seek knowledge. Tianlong laughed heartily. "These are called fish pills, the essence condensed from a type of fish in the boundary sea. They are a type of source crystal." Lin Moyu asked curiously, "But I feel that they are very impure." "Besides the source power, there are many other things." Tianlong replied, "Your perception is correct. They are indeed impure. These impure forces need to be processed with special methods. For others, processing them is very troublesome, but for you, it's quite simple. What is troublesome for others is simple for him. Lin Moyu immediately thought of the world-burning fire or the undying flame. But it didn't seem right. Tianlong quickly gave the answer, don't you have the Dragon Soul Crystal? Use the Dragon Soul Crystal to purify them, and you can get pure Source Crystals. These Source Crystals can be used to enhance your techniques, raising them to a higher level. Of course, if you want to use them to ascend to Supreme, it's not impossible. But I don't recommend you do that. Lin Moyu certainly wouldn't use these source powers to ascend to Supreme. He wanted to become the Supreme of the Great World, so how could he use external source power? Unless the Great World couldn't support him, he would consider other paths. Lin Moyu murmured, using them to enhance techniques is indeed a good idea. Thinking of the source fire seed, his resurrection technique had advanced to the source level, greatly increasing its power and helping him significantly. If other techniques could also advance to the source level, his combat power would surely rise to a new level. In the absence of a way to improve his realm, this was the best method. Most importantly, even if the source power level of the technique was slightly lower, it could be compensated for. If he could find higher level source power in the future, he could continue to integrate it. Tianlong's superficial wounds quickly healed under the power of life. He urged, hurry up, take out your Dragon Soul Crystal and purify them. Lin Moyu thought of his Dragon Soul Crystal, prepare yourself, don't be scared. Tianlong asked curiously, it's just a Dragon Soul Crystal, I've seen many. What's there to be scared of? Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the Dragon Soul Crystal in his soul world flew out from his forehead, appearing in the real world. The Dragon Soul Crystal transformed into a hazy divine dragon, about 10 meters long, a tiny thing compared to Tianlong. But the pressure from the Dragon Soul Crystal was no less than that of Tianlong, especially its noble aura, which seemed even higher than Tianlong's. The hazy aura surrounded it, and 10 colors alternated, looking magnificent. The moment the 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal appeared, Tianlong let out a strange cry, his huge dragon body trembling and retreating 10,000 miles. His whole body almost exploded, dragon scales standing up, dragon eyes staring at the 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal. Lin Moyu said helplessly, I told you not to be scared. Tianlong took a long time to calm down and slowly flew back, You, he stammered for a long time without saying anything coherent. Lin Moyu had never seen Tianlong so out of control before. He realized that the 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal was not simple. Can you speak normally? Tianlong shook his head, almost roaring, how can I be normal? Do you know what you've done? Lin Moyu shrugged, pretending to know nothing, and said indifferently, isn't it just a 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal? It's just one more color than the 9-colored one. Rubbish, Tianlong roared. He was so agitated that he was almost furious, trembling all over, do you know what one more color means? You don't know, you have no idea, you know nothing. That's a legend of our dragon clan. The legend says that whoever possesses a Dragon Soul Crystal with more than 9 colors will. Quote. Suddenly, he stopped. Lin Moyu asked, will what? Tianlong roared, nothing, do you believe I won't kill you right now? Lin Moyu sneered, I don't believe it. He knew Tianlong's sharp tongue well. Sure enough, Tianlong, still angry, shouted, You piss me off. Lin Moyu asked, what's going on, explain clearly. Tianlong shouted, nothing, just be careful in the future, don't let others know you have a 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal. Otherwise, not only the Dragon Clan, but everyone will come to hunt you down. Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow, is it that serious? Tianlong warned, of course, it's even more serious than I said. Never let anyone know, or even if you're a supreme, you'll still die. Lin Moyu realized the seriousness of the matter. He knew the 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal was special, but he didn't expect it to be this special. It seemed that the 10-colored Dragon Soul Crystal held extraordinary significance for the Dragon Clan. Tianlong's aura surged, layers of source power spreading out, instantly covering an area of tens of light years. Tianlong closed his eyes and carefully sensed, finally relaxing, it's good that no one is here. Then his source power vibrated at a special frequency, and Lin Moyu heard a sound like tinnitus. The source power pierced through time and space, and Lin Moyu was shocked, you erased the time-space imprint. Once the time-space imprint was erased, even if someone used time reversal, they wouldn't see what happened today. Tianlong snorted, looking at Lin Moyu like an idiot, what else? You have no idea how terrifying those guys are. No traces can be left. Lin Moyu frowned, but isn't this too deliberate? Tianlong replied, why do you care so much? I even erased your imprint. If something happens, they won't find you. Hurry up and purify, I'll keep watch. Lin Moyu felt a bit moved. Tianlong's actions were to protect him. If a strong pursuer came, they would only find Tianlong. He was doing this to protect him. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate anymore, controlling the 10-colored dragon soul crystal to purify the fish pills. The 10-colored dragon soul crystal exploded, turning into 10-colored flames that enveloped the fish pills. Dragon roars sounded, and the impurities in the fish pills began to be purified and removed. The purification was fast, and the impurities would be completely removed soon. Tianlong asked, how did you create the 10th color? He knew that Antares had given Lin Moyu a 9-colored dragon soul crystal, which was possible due to Antares' special identity and ability. But 9 colors were the limit, even for a dragon god. The 10th color was a legend. Lin Moyu replied, I once obtained a source fire seed. When I was integrating techniques in the soul world, a divine dragon approached. This divine dragon seemed to have no wisdom. I killed it, and the dragon soul crystal devoured it, becoming a 10-colored dragon soul crystal. The more Tianlong listened, the wider his eyes opened, a divine dragon in the soul void, which fallen dragon got lost in the soul void and was finally encountered by you. Lin Moyu took the opportunity to ask, can you tell me about the soul void? This, I can. Chapter 2343, 2343. Chapter 2343, the differences in origin power. The soul void is an extremely mysterious world. Even now, having reached half-step supreme, Lin Moyu still knows nothing about the soul void. It's not just him, even all the information in the great world knows very little about it. This has nothing to do with realm, but everything to do with knowledge reserves. The heavenly dragon, coming from the dragon clan, has knowledge far surpassing Lin Moyu's in various aspects. Through the heavenly dragon's explanation, Lin Moyu gained a clear understanding of the soul void for the first time. The soul void is vast and boundless, with no one knowing where its boundaries lie. If we say that for any cultivator in the great world, the first world they encounter outside their own is the soul void. From the perspective of the soul void, the souls of all living beings are in the same space, but this space is so large that even with countless living beings, it's difficult for them to encounter each other. According to the heavenly dragon, the chance of encountering another being's soul in the soul void is almost impossible. It's like having only 10 stars in the great world. How difficult would it be for these 10 stars to meet? So, the probability of Lin Moyu encountering a lost divine dragon in the soul void is incredibly fortunate. It's precisely because of the mystery of the soul void that some powerful beings explore its secrets, ultimately getting lost in it and unable to return. In the world outside the great world, those qualified to explore the soul void are at least celestial venerables, or even Tao venerables. However, no one has ever succeeded. Almost everyone ends in failure. But then again, even if someone succeeded and learned some secrets of the soul void, they wouldn't reveal them. In the history of the Dragon Clan, some members went to search the soul void and never returned. Once their souls are lost, their physical bodies quickly fall into death, ignoring the longevity of the Dragon Clan. But their souls don't die, they just get lost in the soul void, losing their sense of self and consciousness, retaining only weak instincts. The divine dragon Lin Moyu encountered might have been lost in the soul void for countless years, perhaps a dragon from billions of years ago, long dead in reality. Lin Moyu sighed, even Tao venerables can't fully explore the soul void. It's truly mysterious. The heavenly dragon said, indeed, the soul void is the most mysterious place below the great Tao. Even in our dragon clan, there are very few records about the soul void. Once, a dragon god went to explore the soul void, and then died shortly after. His body, which should have been eternally immortal, completely rotted away in just a year, turning to ashes. Lin Moyu was also surprised even a dragon god got lost, truly terrifying. Lin Moyu thought of the system that disappeared in the soul void, not knowing where it had gone. It seems that his system is incredibly mysterious and unfathomable. For now, he suppressed his curiosity about the soul void, knowing it wasn't something he could touch at present. As they were talking, the refinement of the fish core was mostly complete, just a little more and it would be fully refined. Lin Moyu asked, the original owner of the fish core was a celestial venerable, right? He thought of the heavenly dragon's minor injuries when he returned. Only a celestial venerable could harm a celestial venerable. The heavenly dragon shook his head, no, they were peak supremes. It's just that the environment they were in was special, allowing them to harm me. But at most, they could only scratch my skin. There's an insurmountable gap between celestial venerables and peak supremes. Lin Moyu asked, besides the fish core, did you get any of their bones? The heavenly dragon seemed to guess what Lin Moyu wanted to do and chuckled, I know what you're up to, kid, but what's in it for me? Lin Moyu asked, what benefit do you want? The heavenly dragon said, it's actually very simple. Promise me one thing, when I come looking for you in the future, you can't refuse. Lin Moyu said, well, it depends on what it is. You can't possibly ask me to commit suicide, so I won't refuse. The heavenly dragon laughed, of course not, but I guarantee it won't be asking you to commit suicide. Lin Moyu felt the heavenly dragon's smile was a bit mischievous, even somewhat sneaky, but he still agreed, all right, I promise you. Actually, the heavenly dragon didn't need to set any conditions. As long as he asked, Lin Moyu would agree to anything that wasn't too outrageous. But the heavenly dragon just liked to make deals, it seemed to be his habit. Thinking of Antares, he seemed to have a similar habit. Lin Moyu wondered if it was because they were both from the dragon clan. The heavenly dragon spat out a dragon scale, which contained a storage space filled with a pile of strange fish corpses. These fish had all been gutted, the fish cores were taken from their bellies. These strange fish were different from the ones Lin Moyu had killed before. They were larger and covered in spikes, looking quite ferocious. The heavenly dragon said, this is their flesh. There are 18 in total, but only 3 of them produced fish cores. Lin Moyu looked at the fish corpses, there seemed to be many different types of fish in the realm sea. What are these called? The heavenly dragon said, spinefish. Can't you see they're covered in spines? Spinefish. Quite a direct name. Lin Moyu thought for a moment about the type of fish he usually killed. They were smaller and didn't have obvious spines, only their tails were a bit special, splitting into 5 lobes. He took out a dead fish, what's this type called? The heavenly dragon said, 5-leaf fish. Lin Moyu asked, I've seen another type, completely round, with an origin crystal hanging on its head like a lantern. What's that called? The heavenly dragon seemed annoyed by the questions, lanternfish, of course. Just think about it, that origin crystal is very low grade, not as good as the fish core. Lin Moyu noticed the heavenly dragon's somewhat smug expression and instinctively started his information gathering mode, how would I know so much? Aren't origin crystals and fish cores both origin power? What's the difference? The heavenly dragon laughed heartily, since you're so eager to learn, I'll graciously tell you. The heavenly dragon, unaware of being led on, explained a lot, finally allowing Lin Moyu to understand the differences between various origin powers. Even among origin powers, there are hierarchical differences. They can be roughly divided into grades 1 to 9, but within each grade, there are also significant differences. The lanternfish they encountered before had relatively low-grade origin power. The origin crystals obtained from them were only first-grade origin power, and even among first-grade, they were relatively poor. The fish core's origin power is a bit stronger, belonging to third-grade origin power. The origin flame seed Lin Moyu obtained earlier, which the heavenly dragon hadn't seen, couldn't be accurately graded. But based on the heavenly dragon's description, Lin Moyu thought the origin flame seed should be 4th or 5th grade, stronger than the fish core. The world crystals obtained from refining the rule worlds left by Supremes are 2nd grade origin power. The same goes for those remnant worlds. According to the heavenly dragon, origin power above 3rd grade is very difficult to obtain. Some fish in the realm sea do possess 4th grade origin power, but they are at least celestial venerable level. With the environment of the realm sea, they are extremely difficult to kill. Often, by the time they're about to be killed, these fish will self-destruct their origin power, making it hard to obtain even after a fierce battle. The origin power of various worlds also has different grades. For worlds like the Great World that can support celestial venerables, their origin power can reach 6th grade. For worlds like the Battle Realm, their origin power is at most 5th grade. The Battle Realm wants to absorb the Great World's origin power to reach 6th grade. Or rather, the person behind the Battle Realm has discovered the Great World as prey. Besides differences in grades, there are also differences in quality between various origin powers. Origin crystals obtained from the realm sea are of the lowest quality, containing a lot of impurities. Then there are those refined from remnant worlds, which are slightly better in quality within the same grade. The origin flame left by the mysterious master is quite pure, its quality among the upper echelons of origin power of the same grade. The highest quality belongs to the origin power of complete worlds like the Great World. This type of origin power is called world-class origin power, and its quality is top tier among the same grade. Lin Moyu murmured, "It seems the Great World's origin power is very strong." The Heavenly Dragon said, "Of course, 6th grade world-class origin power is very rare. Alright, the fish core is almost refined. You can go absorb it now. Remember, don't refine it outside in the future." The Heavenly Dragon cautioned once more. Lin Moyu nodded and took the Dragon Soul Crystal and Fish Core into his soul. Next, he needed to choose which spell to fuse them with. Chapter 2344, 2344. Chapter 2344, I'm going to get rich. The refinement was complete. The 3 fish pills had shrunk several times compared to before, now only about the size of half a fist, finally looking like real pills. Lin Moyu could sense the origin power contained within the fish pills. Fish pills with 3rd grade origin power weren't the best, but they weren't bad either. Compared to the origin fire seed, they were indeed inferior. The origin fire seed was at least 4th or even 5th grade origin power. Lin Moyu could clearly feel the difference between them. Similarly, using fish pills to fuse with spells would provide less enhancement than the origin fire seed. Fortunately, origin power could be fused multiple times. In the future, if better origin crystals were obtained, they could be fused again without issue. Which 3 spells should I choose? There were quite a few spells, and Lin Moyu pondered how to choose to maximize his combat power. Skeleton Hell. Skeleton Hell had already reached the Saint Venerable realm, with a diameter of 2 light years. Moreover, it had already fused with 1 origin crystal before. That origin crystal was only 1st grade origin power, which only allowed Skeleton Hell to advance but didn't fundamentally transform it. Additionally, Skeleton Hell hadn't reached its advancement limit yet. Even if all 3 fish pills were fused into it, at most it would only advance to half-step Supreme. Without reaching Supreme, it wouldn't play a big role in the battle against the Battle Realm. And below Supreme, the current Skeleton Hell was already powerful enough and didn't need to advance. After consideration, Lin Moyu gave up on Skeleton Hell. I need to make my sword stronger. Lin Moyu turned his attention to several spells that already possessed supreme level power. Suddenly, the high and mighty Infinite Fusion flew over, heading straight for the 3 fish pills. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. What are you doing? Infinite Fusion circled around Lin Moyu once, then flew to the 3 fish pills and suddenly transformed into a large iron pot. It had used this thing before when forcibly fusing spells, but hadn't appeared since. Lin Moyu was surprised. Are you planning to fuse the fish pills? Infinite Fusion buzzed in response, as if saying, that's right. Lin Moyu didn't stop it. He knew that whatever Infinite Fusion did would be beneficial and not harmful to him. The iron pot absorbed all 3 fish pills, emitting a large amount of mist and making hammering sounds. Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh. Is this pill refining or blacksmithing? Infinite Fusion heard Lin Moyu's words and the hammering sounds became even louder. After 10 minutes of hammering, the iron pot finally opened. A burst of chaotic mist spewed out, along with a fist-sized origin crystal. The 3 fish pills had fused into one, becoming a single origin crystal. The origin crystal emitted 4-colored light, looking very exquisite, like a high-quality gemstone. The 4-colored gemstone emitted even stronger origin power than the 3 fish pills combined, clearly on a different level. Lin Moyu grasped the gemstone, 4th grade origin power. Although not as good as the origin fire, it's incomparable to world-class origin power. But many are also 4th grade origin power, much stronger than 3rd grade. I didn't expect Infinite Fusion to have this ability, to be able to fuse origin power. Lin Moyu's eyes suddenly lit up brightly. This means that as long as I have enough origin power, even if it's lower grade, I can fuse it into higher grade origin power. Then I'm going to get rich. Those 7th grade, 8th grade, even 9th grade origin crystals don't seem so difficult anymore. For the first time, Lin Moyu felt like he was sitting on a mountain of treasure. He felt that the high-grade origin crystals that the Heavenly Dragon had said were extremely rare might now be within reach. Lin Moyu couldn't contain his excitement. Even his body began to tremble, his blood surging wildly, emitting bursts of rumbling sounds. Outside, the Heavenly Dragon saw Lin Moyu trembling with excitement and muttered to himself with a hint of disdain, he really hasn't seen much of the world. It's just a few fish pills, is it worth getting so excited about? Brat, don't think I don't know you're trying to get information out of me. I was just deliberately telling you. 10 colors, it's really 10 colors. Crown Prince, we're going to get rich. These years of suffering haven't been in vain. In the Rule World, Lin Moyu was indeed very excited, but not because of a single 4th grade origin crystal. He was excited for the future. After his excitement, he calmed himself down and began to choose which spell to fuse with. Now that there was only one origin crystal left, he only needed to choose one spell, which was actually simpler than before. Lin Moyu didn't ponder for long before making his choice. It's you. With a thought, the 4th grade origin crystal flew out and drilled into a white spell star. Summon Skeleton King was Lin Moyu's choice. To enhance, choose the sharpest knife. After advancing to half-step Supreme, the Skeleton King's combat power had already reached the level of high-grade Supreme. Now, fusing with 4th grade origin power would surely transform the spell into origin grade. The Skeleton King would become even stronger. Perhaps it could rival Peak Supreme. Even if not, it could at least allow the Skeleton King to reach the limit of high-grade Supreme. The white spell star shone brightly, illuminating half of the Rule World. Within the white light, a hint of purple gradually appeared. The white spell star was transforming into a purple star. Purple stars were incredibly powerful, surpassing neutron stars and even black holes. Spells of this level were also known as origin grade. Lin Moyu believed that in the history of the Great World, those who possessed origin grade spells must be very few. Probably only those few celestial venerables qualified to have them. The spell star grew increasingly powerful, with origin aura spreading throughout the Rule World. The Saint Venerable level Rule World was much stronger than the former Form World, and the origin aura did not leak out. However, it still illuminated part of the Soul Void. Lin Moyu felt that under the nourishment of the origin aura, the Rule World seemed to have become a bit stronger. Even the World Tree was absorbing the origin aura, rustling happily. Lin Moyu saw that the spirit flowers and World Tree fruits seemed to have grown a bit more. Origin power was very magical, able to promote the growth of the World Tree. If there's a chance in the future, I need to obtain more origin crystals. This thing is really useful. Lin Moyu thought to himself, his eyes fixed unblinkingly on the spell star. The purple light grew increasingly dense, occupying more and more of the star's area, until the entire spell star turned completely purple, a pure and noble purple without any impurities. The purple spell star slowly rose, reaching the same height as Resurrect the Dead, standing side by side. It was now second only to the 2 origin spells, becoming the 3rd-tier existence among all spells. The strongest was still Infinite Fusion, its position unshakable. Lin Moyu's soul moved, receiving the spell information. Summon Skeleton King origin grade. Fuse the power of skeletons to summon the Skeleton King. Minimum requirement is fusing 500,000 skeletons, maximum is 50 million skeletons. Summoning the Skeleton King does not cause the skeletons to disappear. While the Skeleton King exists, it can enhance the combat power of other skeletons. The Skeleton King's spells can be shared with other skeletons. The more Skeleton Kings summoned simultaneously, the stronger the Skeleton King's combat power becomes. Advancing to origin grade, the spell had indeed undergone a fundamental change. The quantity requirement was only half of before, but Lin Moyu believed that the Skeleton King's combat power wouldn't change, only become stronger. In other words, he could summon twice as many Skeleton Kings simultaneously, and the Skeleton King's combat power would be stronger than before. While the Skeleton King exists, it can enhance the combat power of other skeletons. Although the exact enhancement was unknown, it was certainly a good thing. Moreover, the Skeleton King's spells could be shared with other skeletons, when all the skeleton generals could use God Slash. Just thinking about it made Lin Moyu shudder. The scene was beautiful. Finally, the more Skeleton Kings summoned simultaneously, the stronger the Skeleton King's combat power becomes. This ability was quite overpowered, self-enhancing, a bit excessive. Chapter 2345, 2345. Chapter 2345, It's not time to kill yet. Lin Moyu woke up from his excitement. Tianlong asked impatiently, how is it? How effective? Lin Moyu replied, it looks good, but I haven't tried it yet. As he spoke, he flicked his fingers, and a ball of fire exploded in the starry sky. In an instant, a powerful aura swept across the starry sky like a storm or tsunami. In the midst of the flames, a skeletal throne appeared, and a skeletal king 10,000 meters tall rose from the throne. It wore exquisite armor, exuding a noble aura. Its cloak fluttered as flames rose from it. The throne transformed into a sharp sword, which appeared in the Skeletal King's hand. Skeletal King level. High Supreme spell. White Bone God Slayer Unruled World. White Bone God Slayer locks onto a target for attack, simultaneously targeting the physical body and soul. The locked target cannot evade or defend with magic tools. Can attack multiple targets. If the targets are fewer than 10, the damage is not reduced. Can form a combined attack with other skeletons, further enhancing power. Tianlong's scales clinked in the aura, almost at peak supreme, a very strong spell. Lin Moryu smiled. Indeed, it's quite impressive. He was very satisfied with the strength of the Skeletal King. Although it was labeled as High Supreme, it was very close to Peak Supreme. Now he could summon 50 Skeletal Kings, and if he summoned them all, they might reach Peak Supreme level. Tianlong said enviously, "You are the strongest spellcaster I've ever seen, surpassing the Supreme level. Any ordinary Supreme who encounters you will suffer greatly. Show me the other 2 spells." Tianlong believed Lin Moryu must have fused 3 spells, with the Skeletal King being just one of them. Lin Moryu shook his head. "Just one. I gave all 3 fish pills to the same spell." Tianlong's eyes widened. "Why did you do that?" Lin Moryu replied, "I think it's better to enhance one spell to the extreme rather than slightly improving 3 spells. In this war, the outcome is determined by top-tier strength." Tianlong nodded. "You're right. I feel that the battle realm is quite pitiful. Despite the world being so broken, no one expected a freak like you to appear." Lin Moryu smiled. "We'll only know if it's pitiful after the fight. If the people behind the battle realm intervene, it will be up to you." Tianlong nodded. "Don't worry. I promised you, so I'll definitely do it." Lin Moryu pondered. "Will this cause you trouble?" Tianlong chuckled. "You mean the guy who came last time? He's nothing. If he dares to come, I'll kill him too." "Kill a fellow clansman?" Lin Moryu frowned. Tianlong laughed. "Just talking. It's not time to kill yet, but beating him up is no problem." Lin Moryu nodded. "All right, I'll leave it to you." Tianlong said, "You can go. I'll sleep for a while. The big battle is coming." In the human god city, a strong aura was rising in the square in front of the Symbol Master Tower. The Symbol Master Tower was currently closed, and no Symbol Master was allowed to enter. Symbol Saint had been sitting there for hundreds of years, continuously refining symbols. Lin Moryu had taught Symbol Saint the method to create ancient symbol warriors and let him do the refining. Refining ancient symbol warriors was both a challenge and a practice for Symbol Saint. Over the years, Symbol Saint had been continuously refining, and his cultivation was gradually improving. Lin Moryu had visited many times, helping Symbol Saint solve many problems. Now, his symbol refining skills had completely surpassed Symbol Saint. He knew everything Symbol Saint knew, and more. Nowadays, Symbol Saint naturally called him Master Lin. Once, Lin Moryu was eager to create ancient symbol warriors because they possessed at least high supreme combat power, essential for fighting the battle realm. But now, an ancient symbol warrior was no longer that important. Having one more or one less ancient symbol warrior didn't matter anymore. Lin Moryu gave 12 core ancient symbols to Symbol Saint for refining. Perhaps Symbol Saint could use this opportunity to achieve a breakthrough. Even if he didn't become a half-step supreme, he could at least touch the threshold. In Lin Moryu's vision, these saints among humans, although their foundations were not solid, were all geniuses. If a new divine path was built in the future, they would all have the qualifications to become supremes. However, Star Elder and Human Emperor were more problematic. Their existence was too special, making it difficult for them to become supremes. Symbol Saint had been refining for hundreds of years and was now at the final step. One by one, the symbols were combined, with all the materials in the human warehouse at his disposal. Lin Moryu also gave several important spatial ancient symbols to Symbol Saint. With 12 5th-level core ancient symbols as the center, supplemented by numerous 2nd-level ancient symbols and countless materials, an ancient symbol warrior finally took shape. As the ancient symbol warrior fully formed, the supreme-level aura spread through the divine city like a storm. The city's numerous formations operated frantically, trying to block the supreme aura as much as possible. The ancient symbol warrior stood 1,000 meters tall, possessing supreme-level combat power. Symbol Saint was just a saint. His level naturally couldn't compare to the ancient saint symbol Heavenly Venerate. Moreover, the ancient symbols he used were only 2nd level, and the materials couldn't be compared. The fact that the ancient symbol warrior could reach supreme level was already very strong. Symbol Saint stood in front of the ancient symbol warrior, facing the supreme pressure without flinching. His eyes were filled with excitement and trembling. Although he walked the path of his predecessors, he had learned so much during the refining process. His symbol skills had greatly improved, and his level had also risen a bit. He felt he had touched the threshold of half-step supreme, and with enough time, he could indeed advance to half-step supreme. All this was thanks to the ancient symbol warrior and Lin Moryu. Clap, 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 applause sounded, and Symbol Saint turned to see Lin Moryu. He immediately bowed respectfully, "Greetings, Master Lin." Lin Moryu smiled, "So it is successfully refined. Your talent and persistence in the art of symbols are truly amazing." Symbol Saint was humble, "It's all thanks to your teaching, Master Lin. Compared to you, I am nothing." Lin Moryu shook his head, "In the art of symbols, besides talent, persistence is key. In this world, no one can match you in persistence." Symbol Saint didn't modestly decline, pulling Lin Moryu to look at the ancient symbol warrior. "Master Lin, what do you think of this ancient symbol warrior?" Lin Moryu said, "I've already seen it. It's very good. When you become a supreme, you can use 3rd or 4th level ancient symbols to modify it. Restoring its ancient glory should be no problem." Symbol Saint nodded, "I think so too. I don't need to study anything else. Just researching this ancient symbol warrior is enough for a lifetime." Indeed, the ancient symbol warrior was the lifelong masterpiece of the saint symbol Heavenly Venerate, with intricate design and carefully chosen symbols. Especially the 12 core ancient symbols, they were worth a lifetime of research for Symbol Saint. Lin Moryu knew that Symbol Saint's talent was not as good as the saint symbol Heavenly Venerate, so there was no need to study anything else. Focusing on the ancient symbol warrior was sufficient. Chapter 2346, 2346. Chapter 2346, Why do you have so many wives? With less than 30 years until the battle realm arrives, 30 years in the great world is only about a day in the realm sea. Soon the two worlds will collide. At this time, the two worlds are already very close. Lin Moryu came to the edge of the great world for the last time. Standing here, he seemed to be able to sense the aura of the battle realm. The Heavenly Holy Venerable finally took the last step and reached half-step supreme. He didn't even have time to stabilize his realm before immediately starting another divine journey. This secret technique, passed down since ancient times, had brought a lot of intelligence to the human race. Perhaps in ancient times, divine journeys were also a way for human powerhouses to search for other worlds. Unfortunately, the Heavenly Holy Venerable's divine journey failed this time. He felt his consciousness leave the great world, but he couldn't enter the battle realm. Instead, he wandered in a void for a while before returning. However, the Heavenly Holy Venerable said that while wandering in the void, he seemed to have seen a person. But the time was too short, and the perception was too vague, so he wasn't sure if he had seen correctly. Lin Moryu thought the Heavenly Holy Venerable probably hadn't seen wrong. The person he saw might be the existence behind the battle realm. In the final moments, Lin Moryu went to find the Heavenly Dragon again, telling him to wake up and not sleep anymore. At the same time, he also told Muniner that according to their agreement, Muniner would bring the Soul City. The 100 Battles Supreme hasn't shown up yet, but the Red Star Supreme said not to worry, the 100 Battles Supreme would naturally come. 10,000 star arrays have been set up, firmly protecting the human star domain. The 3 primordial divine beasts, Vermilion Bird, Black Tortoise, and White Tiger, haven't appeared, but Lin Moryu believes they won't be absent. In the dragon battlefield, a powerful aura is reviving. The Azure Dragon is about to awaken. The Human Emperor Network announced the news of the battle realm's imminent arrival, but only to those above Holy Venerable. All Holy Venerables obeyed the Human Emperor's orders and formed an army. This is a battle more dangerous than the 100 Clans War. If they lose, the entire world will be destroyed. In the last 10 years, Lin Moryu didn't go anywhere, just stayed at home with Yuzhu and Yu Qingru. His soul accompanied his 4 wives who were in deep sleep. His soul always leaned against the coffin of slumber, feeling as if he could sense his wife's aura by leaning on the coffin of slumber. The great world also seemed to be preparing for the coming of the great battle. Many people with sensitive souls could already feel that the atmosphere of the great world had changed. The origin of the great world began to become active, and the origin was reviving. The great world had made all preparations, ready to welcome this great battle. At the moment when the two worlds made contact, Lin Moryu suddenly said softly, "It's here." Yuzhu and Yu Qingru said in unison, "Husband, be careful." Lin Moyu smiled slightly, no need to worry. The space gate opened, and Lin Moyu left God City. The two worlds collided, starting from the outermost edge. Waves of vibrations, at speeds far exceeding light, transmitted from the edge of the world towards the interior. The vibrations quickly swept through millions of light years, becoming stronger and stronger. After the two worlds collided, there wasn't any earth-shattering commotion. Instead, fusion occurred. The rules and powers of the two worlds began to fuse, becoming intertwined with each other. Laws and power systems from the battle realm began to appear in the great world. The powerhouses in the battle realm could also exert their full power in the great world. The heavenly dragon had fully awakened and said in a low voice, "It's really a desperate gamble, a fight to the death." A space gate suddenly appeared, and Lin Moyu flew out from it with a serious expression. "The battle realm has fused in." The heavenly dragon chuckled, "Yeah, now it's not just about winning or losing. It's really a matter of life and death. The winner takes all." There are two ways for worlds to collide. Some worlds collide in a physical sense and don't fuse. The powerhouses from both worlds would attack each other, and if there's no clear winner in the end, the two worlds could separate. This method leaves a way out for both sides. But now, with this mutual fusion method, neither side has a way out. Once the worlds start to fuse, forming a situation where each contains elements of the other, it means only one can survive. If it were during the Great World's peak period, the Great World would have absolute initiative, and how to collide would be entirely up to the will of the Great World. But now, the Great World has no choice. And to prevent the Great World from escaping, the Battle Realm resolutely chose the fusion method. It was determined to devour the Great World and break through. Actually, this is what Lin Moyu wanted. The Great World only has this slim chance of survival. If the Battle Realm were to escape, he really wouldn't have any way to deal with it. Now it's perfect. Neither side has a way out, only one side can survive. The heavenly dragon asked, "Where do you plan to set the battlefield?" Lin Moyu opened the star map and chose a location. He had long decided on this location, in the outer domain, exactly 1,000,000 light-years from the border area. The battle cannot affect the inner domain, let alone affect the human race. This battle must be resolved in the outer domain. The heavenly dragon chuckled, "They're not wooden puppets. You can't just choose wherever you want." Lin Moyu said, "After the two worlds fuse, they will make their move. They won't take detours but will definitely rush straight towards the world's core. I have arrangements in this area. The deviation won't be too big. If I haven't miscalculated, the battlefield will be in this area." Lin Moyu had long thought about this issue. Based on the information obtained by the Heavenly Holy Venerable, and the Human Emperor's analysis of the Battle Realm's combat mode, it shouldn't be far off. The heavenly dragon asked, "Have you thought about how to fight?" Lin Moyu said, "No need to think. This time there are no tactics, it's purely a contest of power. If I lose, it means the Great World has lost. Before the great battle, I want to ask you a favor, though it's a bit shameless." The heavenly dragon chuckled, "You haven't even fought yet and you're already thinking about losing. That's not a good sign." Lin Moyu shook his head, "I'm just considering all possibilities." The heavenly dragon said, "Just tell me what you need. After all, the dead deserve respect. I'll agree to anything I can." He spoke without any taboos, seeming to joke, but also appearing serious. Lin Moyu said, "If I'm defeated, I have a coffin of slumber here with my 4 wives inside, plus my 2 current wives. Please take them away." The heavenly dragon stared at Lin Moyu, "You're saying you have 6 wives?" Lin Moyu nodded slightly. He had never told the heavenly dragon about his wives, and the heavenly dragon had never asked. He looked at the heavenly dragon, "Can you do it? I'll use the 10-colored dragon soul crystal as payment." The heavenly dragon suddenly let out a dragon roar, "Why? Why do you have so many wives while I don't even have a single female dragon?" Dragon roars continued as the heavenly dragon became very agitated. Lin Moyu hadn't expected that this would be the point the heavenly dragon focused on. He pressed, "Don't change the subject. Will you do it or not?" The heavenly dragon said, "The 10-colored dragon soul crystal is useless to me, and you might not necessarily die. You have the realm seashell. If you want to escape, others can hardly stop you." Lin Moyu said, "I won't escape unless it's the very last resort, and I'm just preparing for the worst-case scenario." The heavenly dragon said, "They're your wives, not mine. I won't help." Although he said this, his tone had completely changed. Lin Moyu had known the heavenly dragon for many years and understood his personality. He didn't waste words with him, it's settled then. But this probably won't happen. I'm just preparing for the worst. We'll proceed according to the plan. Let's hope we can win. The heavenly dragon chuckled, don't worry. I've lived for billions of years. You little brat won't die. I have a feeling that those guys from the battle realm are going to be in trouble. Chapter 2347, 2347. Chapter 2347, what else do you know? In the outer space, a million light years from the boundary area, skeleton generals were stationed at regular intervals. Lin Moyu had spread over 1 billion skeleton generals here, monitoring an area of hundreds of thousands of light years. This was the shortest route from the battle realm to the core of the Great World. If the battle realm wanted to obtain the origin of the Great World, they would inevitably have to head towards the core of the Great World. Lin Moyu planned to intercept them here, not letting them enter the inner domain. Originally, the Red Star Supreme also wanted to come, but Lin Moyu had him stay in the inner domain. If even he couldn't stop them, the Red Star Supreme wouldn't be of much help here. Moreover, the Red Star Supreme had other tasks in the inner domain. With him there, the 10,000 star array could reach its maximum power. The world's tremors were becoming more and more intense, space was rippling, like waves coming one after another. Gradually, Lin Moyu sensed powers that didn't belong to the Great World. The power of the battle realm had finally penetrated, the powers of the two worlds were mixed together, indistinguishable. It's coming soon, Lin Moyu thought softly. He sat virtually in space, eyes closed, waiting. Days passed one by one. After several months, there was still no movement from the battle realm side. But Lin Moyu knew it was close. By now, the powers of the two worlds had almost completely merged, and it was difficult to distinguish between the two worlds. The strong ones from the battle realm could now exert their maximum combat power here. Another month passed, and Lin Moyu suddenly felt something, raising his head to look into the distance. He sensed an extremely powerful origin force, and he knew, the battle realm had come. It came here to absorb the origin of the Great World. But absorption had a prerequisite, the battle realm needed to defeat the Great World and cause great damage to it first. Slaughtering living beings in the Great World, destroying stars in the Great World, could all cause damage to the Great World, and vice versa. In this battle, the loser would only face destruction. Lin Moyu knew that the people from the battle realm should have arrived too. Sure enough, after a few days, tiny lights appeared in space. In the undead vision, numerous soul fires were jumping and flickering in space. They've finally come. After waiting for many days, the forces of the battle realm had finally arrived. The route they chose was exactly the same as Lin Moyu had predicted. Continent after continent came charging at an astonishing speed, their speed surpassing light speed, as if constantly flashing and jumping in space, causing violent spatial fluctuations. These continents from the battle realm were equivalent to the stars in the Great World. On them were huge cities, and in the cities were all warriors. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, thousands of sharp sword auras slashed through space, cutting towards the continents. Energy shields immediately rose on the continents, a kind of power Lin Moyu had never seen before exploded in space, forming a defense, blocking the sword auras. However, because of this attack, the rapidly flying continents all stopped. There were 100 continents in total, they were the top 100 ranked continents in the battle realm. They were clearly stratified, with a strict hierarchy, completely ranked according to strength. The 10 continents at the front were the top 10. Looking through the undead vision, these 10 continents had the most vigorous soul fires, with the most number of strong individuals. The number of cities on these continents was also the highest, and they were the most magnificent. The continents behind were relatively weaker. But the number of supremes was not small. Compared to the current human race, they were incomparably stronger. Any single continent that came out had the power to destroy the human race. There are quite a few supremes. Lin Moyu said softly, his gaze stopping at the front of the 100 continents. At their very front, there was also a palace. The palace was incredibly huge, even larger than a sun. The palace was supported by 100,000 giant stone pillars, the entire palace exuding a wild aura. Lin Moyu had never seen such a peculiar palace before. He could feel the power of this palace. The stone pillars should be weapons similar to treasures, which could be used for attack. The undead vision didn't see any soul fires in the palace, not because there was no one in the palace, but because an invisible force blocked the undead vision. Origin power. Lin Moyu sensed origin power from the palace. It was the origin power that blocked the undead vision. Supremes could use origin power, and Supremes of different levels and strengths could use origin power to different degrees. The existence in the palace was clearly stronger than other Supremes. Battle Emperor. Lin Moyu had figured it out, the Battle Emperor had come. The skeleton generals originally scattered in space all retreated, leaving only 1,000 behind him. Lin Moyu stood in space, directly facing the Battle Realm army, with the posture of one man against 10,000, unbreakable by millions. The Battle Realm continents completely stopped, a powerful pressure rose from the palace, the 10,000 stone pillars lit up simultaneously, converging in space to form a martial man wearing armor. His appearance was not much different from the human race, in fact, almost identical. There were marks unique to the Battle Realm on his face, like birthmarks, which all people from the Battle Realm had. "Are you the envoy of this world?" A majestic voice echoed through space. Although the two worlds were merging and speaking different languages, they could understand each other. The world fusion was not just about laws and powers, but about all aspects. Lin Moyu said, "Are you the Battle Emperor?" "I am the current Battle Emperor. Who are you?" The Battle Emperor stared at Lin Moyu, his gaze cold and containing killing intent. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. "It's good that you're the Battle Emperor." Although the person before him was powerful, he was not a celestial venerable, but a peak supreme. There were no celestial venerables in the Battle Realm, which was a good thing. The Battle Emperor's gaze grew colder, his killing intent palpable. "Who exactly are you?" Lin Moyu's killing intent also rose, his smile equally cold. "The one who will kill you all." The Battle Emperor was slightly taken aback, then suddenly burst into loud laughter. His laughter shook space, and amidst his laughter, countless strong individuals flew out from the cities on the 100 continents. They were all star warriors, equivalent to supremes in the great world, incredibly powerful. They all stared at Lin Moyu, their eyes full of mockery. The Battle Emperor couldn't stop laughing. "You, who aren't even a star warrior, dare to come kill us? Don't tell me you're relying on these things behind you. 1,000 puppets equivalent to low-level star warriors." His tone was full of mockery. "Kid, do you know what you're doing?" Lin Moyu's gaze swept over 100 continents, thousands of cities. A total of 6,700 star warriors. Among them, 4,000 low-level star warriors, 2,000 mid-level star warriors, 700 high-level star warriors. Plus you, the Battle Emperor. Lin Moyu reported the numbers as if reciting from memory, shocking the Battle Emperor. The numbers Lin Moyu reported were not wrong, this was indeed their total number of star warriors. He just wondered how Lin Moyu knew this. Lin Moyu naturally saw this through his undead vision, which was basically never wrong. He looked at the Battle Emperor, suddenly smiling lightly. "There should be more than one Battle Emperor, right? You're the current Battle Emperor, so there must be a former one, a former one. I wonder how many there are in total. Why don't they all come out? Is it that they can't come out? Or is it that they won't live long if they come out?" Lin Moyu's words made the current Battle Emperor's face change drastically. He almost lost his voice as he said, "What else do you know?" Chapter 2348. 2348. Chapter 2348. "Don't snatch, they are mine." The current Battle Emperor was somewhat uncertain. He felt as if the secrets of the Battle Realm were laid bare before Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu had a slight cold smile as he watched the Battle Emperor's reaction, feeling that his guess was correct. From the previously obtained information, it seemed that whenever a Battle Emperor's life ended, a great being would appoint a new Battle Emperor. Previously, there had been some doubts about this information, but ever since learning that there was someone behind the Battle Realm, Lin Moyu was convinced that this information was true. At the same time, he had another guess: the previous Battle Emperors were not dead. Those Battle Emperors might have entered a state of dormancy before their deaths, becoming a hidden force within the Battle Realm. When the Battle Realm needed to conquer the Great World, these former Battle Emperors could be awakened, each one a peak supreme, a very powerful force. Now, Lin Moyu was certain that his idea was correct. Firstly, he referred to himself as the current Battle Emperor, which indirectly indicated that there were former and even earlier Battle Emperors. And these Battle Emperors were still around. If there was only one, he wouldn't need to emphasize that he was the current Battle Emperor. Perhaps it was a habit of speech, so he said it so naturally. Secondly, when Lin Moyu mentioned the former Battle Emperors, his reaction was extremely intense, even more so than when Lin Moyu accurately reported the number of star warriors. This further proved that the former battle emperors truly existed. The battle realm is indeed not that simple. If they have the confidence to attack the great world, it is natural that there wouldn't be just one peak supreme. Seeing Lin Moyu not answering, the current battle emperor, despite his shock, felt his killing intent grow stronger. He looked at Lin Moyu, his eyes narrowing, suddenly thinking of something. I remember now, I once saw you in the realm sea. Lin Moyu chuckled, you recognize me now? It seems your memory isn't that great. Lin Moyu had recognized him long ago. Back in the realm sea, they had once looked at each other from a distance. After 1,000 years, he didn't expect the other party hadn't recognized him. On the contrary, Lin Moyu recognized him at a glance. It seemed that because his realm was too low, he was completely ignored by the other party. After recognizing Lin Moyu, the current battle emperor became cautious. The scene of Lin Moyu shattering the realm sea and instantly killing the school of fish was still vivid in his mind. That strike proved that Lin Moyu had terrifying strength. However, Lin Moyu's realm was not even at the Star Warrior level, which made it difficult for him to understand. 29. Stop wasting words with him, kill him, and seize the origin. Suddenly, a voice sounded from within the palace. This voice was equally majestic but carried a hint of age and impatience. The battle emperor's eyes flickered. I understand. Upon hearing this voice, Lin Moyu laughed. The former battle emperor is urging you. 29. You are the 29th battle emperor. It seems your world has quite a history. A battle emperor can live for at least 100,000 years. Counting it all, 29 battle emperors mean the battle realm has nearly 3 million years of history. Such a length of time, if placed in the great world, would have touched the ancient era. The current battle emperor no longer wanted to waste words with Lin Moyu. He raised one hand, ready to give the order to attack. Behind him, countless star warriors were already eager to fight, all armored and ready to move. At this moment, a stream of light approached from afar, piercing through space in an instant. It wasn't a person who arrived but a rule world. A supreme shadow emerged from the rule world, and behind him was a powerful army. Kill, kill, kill. The army shouted sharply, their battle intent soaring. The 100 Battles Supreme said in a deep voice, this guy is mine. He didn't bother to consult with Lin Moyu. Although he was just a shadow, his combat power was not lacking at all. He and the Red Star Supreme had gained a lot from the Blood Spring ruins, and both of their combat powers had greatly increased. Now, the 100 Battles Supreme had the qualification to contend with high-level Supremes, even stronger than he was in life. The current battle emperor sneered, a dead guy, wielding a remnant soul, still wants to fight me, courting death. The 100 Battles Supreme was fearless, so what if I'm dead? Killing you is not difficult. At this moment, space twisted again, and a hazy city appeared in the starry sky. In the city, hundreds of warriors were ready to go, all of them Supremes. Munanur arrived with her soul city, her silver bell-like laughter ringing out, 100 battles, this guy is mine. As she spoke, Munanur flew out of the soul city, accompanied by a large number of battle souls. The soul city expanded, forming a huge city, with the aura of Supreme surging in the starry sky. Each battle soul was a Supreme, ranging from low-level to high-level Supremes. As the city lord, Munanur possessed combat power comparable to a peak Supreme. The 100 Battles Supreme hesitated for a second, then said, a good man doesn't fight with a woman, I'll let you have him. Munanur laughed, as expected of 100 battles, thank you. She looked at the battle emperor of the battle realm, right? Your opponent has changed, I will personally kill you. Then she looked at Lin Moyu, kid, you have no objections, right? This young lady was very domineering. Lin Moyu smiled, as long as you like it. At this moment, strong light shot out from the palace again, condensing into several figures. 4 more people in exquisite battle armor appeared, all wearing identical armor, their auras very similar, but slightly aged. 29, you're too slow. Have you forgotten the master's order? Why waste words with these guys, just kill them. If you don't dare to fight, we'll do it. The master really chose the wrong person, how could he choose a coward as the battle emperor? Each of them said something, making the current battle emperor frown, his gaze growing increasingly gloomy. Munanur exclaimed, there are more of you. 29, does that mean there are 29 of you? Lin Moyu gave Munanur a thumbs up, you are correct. Munanur said, what should we do? I can only handle 2 at most. She looked at the 100 Battles Supreme, can you handle the rest? The 100 Battles Supreme honestly replied, "No, I can't." Joking aside, he struggled with even one-on-one, at most ending in mutual destruction. Facing 20-something, there's no point in fighting. He loved to fight but didn't love to die. Lin Moyu said, "You handle one, leave the rest to me." Munaner looked at Lin Moyu, "It's not that I don't trust you, but how will you fight?" Lin Moyu smiled, "I." Before he finished speaking, origin power surged from afar, a stream of light flew over, then exploded, splitting into 4. The 4 origin divine beasts had arrived. Lin Moyu cupped his hands, "Seniors, you finally came." The auras of Vermilion Bird, Black Tortoise, and White Tiger had all improved compared to before, enough to rival high-level Supremes. With the addition of origin power, if the 3 beasts joined forces, they could completely contend with a Battle Emperor. Azure Dragon was the strongest among the 4 origin divine beasts, with peak supreme combat power, able to fight a Battle Emperor alone. Munaner laughed, "Origin divine beasts, so you're still alive." Vermilion Bird said, "We won't die. Indeed, as long as the great world doesn't perish, the origin divine beasts won't die." Munaner counted, "But even so, the numbers are still not enough." At this moment, more streams of light appeared from the Battle Emperor's palace, and 5 more former Battle Emperors emerged. There were now 10 Battle Emperors, completely overwhelming Lin Moyu's side in terms of power. One of the Battle Emperors, whose rank was unknown, had a greedy look in his eyes. "Origin divine beasts, kill them, and we can obtain 6th grade origin power, causing great damage to this world." "Don't snatch, they are mine." "No, they are mine." Several former Battle Emperors attacked simultaneously, charging towards Lin Moyu and the others. The origin divine beasts became the fuse for this great battle. As the Battle Emperors attacked, the other Battle Emperors followed suit. The current Battle Emperor also gave the order, "Kill." Star Warriors roared and charged like a tidal wave. Chapter 2349, 2349. Chapter 2349. I've always been the one ganging up on others. 10 Battle Emperors equivalent to peak Supremes instantly attacked, followed by thousands of Star Warriors, each with combat power equal to a Supreme. The starry sky transformed as the Battle Realm spells were unleashed in the Great World for the first time. The Battle Realm also had various attributes, with each Battle Emperor having a different attribute and cultivating different spells. In the Battle Realm, they called spells, battle techniques. Various colored battle techniques unfolded, creating myriad changes in the starry sky. Giants appeared in the starry sky, swinging huge fists to strike downwards. At the same time, countless raindrops appeared out of thin air, each raindrop transforming into a fist. Elsewhere, majestic mountain ranges materialized from the void, transforming into immense power crashing down. The Battle Realm's fighting style was very barbaric, relying purely on overwhelming force. Munaner's expression changed slightly as a soul sword appeared in her hand. She shouted, "Slash!" Behind her, the numerous Supreme Battle Souls made the same motion, simultaneously shouting, "Slash!" A huge soul sword appeared in the starry sky, slashing down from above. The Battle Emperor at the forefront was the first to be hit, letting out a miserable cry as he flew backwards. This slash from Munaner targeted the soul, not the physical body. With his soul injured, this Battle Emperor was severely wounded on the spot. He flew back into the palace, his face pale. The Black Tortoise Divine Beast roared angrily, instantly growing dozens of times larger. Its whole body curled up to form a shield, using its shell to block the attacks of the Battle Emperors. Countless attacks landed on the shell, causing the Black Tortoise's entire body to shake violently. Cracks appeared on the shell, but it didn't shatter. After one round of attacks, the cracks quickly disappeared. The Black Tortoise sneered, "Peak Supremes, is that all you've got?" In its peak state in the past, the Black Tortoise could withstand several attacks from a celestial Venerable, let alone attacks from mere peak Supremes. The Azure Dragon also roared angrily, charging towards the Battle Emperors. Its dragon cries created a sea of blue dragons. In an instant, countless blue dragons filled the starry sky, spewing blue dragon breath. The starry sky shattered amidst the tremors. Several Battle Emperors changed color, as this attack from the Azure Dragon was extremely powerful, forcing them to retreat. Other Battle Emperors had their battle armor shine with light, instantly transforming into giants, like ancient warriors descending, launching devastating attacks. The White Tiger and Vermilion Bird attacked simultaneously, manifesting various rules. Origin power was freely unleashed, with gale force winds like blades and raging flames. The aftermath of the battle between Peak Supremes was extremely powerful, shattering laws and destroying the Milky Way. Large areas of the starry sky shattered, difficult to repair. Lin Moyu noticed that after the two worlds fused, the sturdiness of the starry sky had improved. It should be the complete origin power of the battle realm reinforcing space, no longer so easily shattered completely. At this time, large numbers of star warriors arrived, charging towards Munanur, the 100 Battles Supreme, and Lin Moyu. The 100 Battles Supreme coldly snorted, "Come on then." He was about to make a move, but Lin Moyu acted even faster. Lin Moyu lightly pointed his finger, and a red light flashed past. Spell, Time Curse. The red light enveloped the starry sky, and in an instant, large numbers of star warriors cried out in agony, their souls in extreme pain. Lin Moyu, at the half-step Supreme Realm, cast a soul curse on the star warriors. Although it couldn't injure them, it completely disrupted their attack rhythm. The originally orderly formation fell into chaos in an instant. Immediately after, countless skeleton generals attacked. After reaching half-step Supreme, the skeleton generals had reached the Supreme Realm, albeit the weakest level of Supreme. But what they lacked in individual strength, they made up for in numbers. When Lin Moyu made a move, it was with billions of Supreme-level skeleton generals. Over a billion Supreme-level skeleton generals, their terrifying aura shaking the starry sky. All the Star Warriors were stunned, and their surprise quickly turned to terror. A few thousand against billions, this was nothing short of suicide. The Battle Emperors also noticed this point. The current Battle Emperor roared in anger, "This is impossible. How can there be so many Supreme-level puppets?" Lin Moyu smiled coldly, "I've always been the one ganging up on others. When has it ever been my turn to be ganged up on?" In an instant, countless sword auras swept across the starry sky. Some Star Warriors hadn't even struggled free from the pain of the curse when they were hit by the sword auras, one after another spitting blood from their injuries. The battle armor on their bodies shone brightly, instinctively blocking the sword auras. Otherwise, this wave of attacks alone would have been enough to kill them. When it comes to numbers, he was never afraid. It had always been him ganging up on others. When had it ever been others ganging up on him? Now everyone in the battle realm knew why Lin Moyu dared to block them here alone, and even claimed he would kill them all. Over a billion Supreme-level skeletons, this was no joke. Even Battle Emperors, once surrounded, would eventually be worn down to death. Use the 100-continent million-city battle formation. The current Battle Emperor reacted like lightning, quickly issuing orders. All the Star Warriors received the order. The battle armor on their bodies erupted with powerful defenses, forcefully breaking through the encirclement of the skeleton generals and returning to their respective continents, falling back to their cities. The 100 continents simultaneously erupted with terrifying auras. These auras fused together, becoming one. 100 continents, 10,000 cities, connected as one. With their powers interconnected, it became extremely terrifying. Lin Moyu watched this scene and muttered to himself, "This battle armor is extraordinary, no weaker than artifacts of the same level. These continents have all been infused with origin power, equivalent to origin divine beasts." The battle realm's origin power had taken a different path from the Great World. The Great World used origin power to nurture 4 divine beasts. The battle realm, on the other hand, used origin power to infuse 100 continents, distributed among 10,000 cities. This is why these 100 continents were so powerful. Nourished by origin power, they could give birth to even more powerful Star Warriors. It was also because of the existence of origin power that the 100 continents were like one entity, interconnected without any obstacles. Origin power, combined with the power of thousands of Supremes, made the 100-continent million-city battle formation incredibly solid and powerful. In an instant, a giant appeared in the starry sky, billions of miles tall, wearing battle armor, with over 100 arms on its body. The 100 continents were its fists. The giant swung its fists at the skeleton generals, throwing tens of thousands of punches in an instant. The giant's punches far exceeded the speed of light. The starry sky shook, and the skeleton generals had no time to dodge, being shattered one after another. The skeleton generals also swung their swords in counterattack, but all attacks were unable to break through the giant's defense. Very strong. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and the skeleton generals quickly retreated. The next second, the Undead Legion appeared in the starry sky. The Undead Legion consisted of 50 legions, each led by an undead commander and composed of 1,000,000 skeleton generals. Their combined power was comparable to a high-level celestial Venerable. The Undead Legion, along with the endless skeleton generals, would make even Peak Supremes retreat. A well appeared in Lin Moyu's hand, the ancestral water well. 50 drops of ancestral water flew out, landing on the 50 undead commanders respectively. Nourished by the ancestral water, the 50 undead commanders, auras surged, reaching the peak of high-level supreme. They raised their battle blades, leading their armies to attack the giant. The bone-lost Star River gathered into a sea, not just a single legion gathering into a sea, but 50 legions gathering into a vast starry sea. Bones churned in the starry sea, an extremely eerie sight. The 50 undead commanders moved in perfect unison, shouting in chorus, "Bone slash!" Bone blades rose from the bone-starry sea, slashing through space and striking the giant's body. At the same time, over a billion skeleton generals from all directions swung their sword auras, slashing at the giant's body. The giant's body shook violently, stumbling backwards in the starry sky, cracks actually appearing on its body. "I'll kill you." A battle emperor locked onto Lin Moyu and charged over. Lin Moyu sneered, flicking his finger. A ball of flame exploded in the starry sky. Skeleton King thrones emerged from the flames one after another, with 50 skeleton kings standing up from their flaming thrones. The power of belief burned fiercely, sparing no cost, and another 50 drops of ancestral water flew out. The skeleton kings instantly broke through their limits, reaching the level of Peak Supreme. They raised their bone swords. Spell, Bone God Slash. Chapter 2350, 2350. Chapter 2350, you can handle it alone. The skeleton kings have a mutual amplification effect. The more that exists simultaneously, the stronger each individual's combat power becomes. For every additional skeleton king, combat power increases by about 1%. With 50 skeleton kings present at once, they would be about 50% stronger than a single skeleton king. The skeleton kings were already nearly at Peak Supreme level. With a 50% boost, they firmly reached the Peak Supreme realm. Add in the enhancement from the ancestral water, and the skeleton king's combat power increased even further, not far from that of a battle emperor. 50 skeleton kings simultaneously unleashed their spell. It was the first time Bone God Slash was used. The bone-lost Star River appeared, evolving into a starry sea behind the skeleton kings. Unlike the Undead Legion, which needed to combine and converge, each skeleton king alone was enough to evolve a lost star sea. Countless bone swords suddenly appeared on that battle emperor's body, mercilessly slashing down, cutting both flesh and soul. The battle armor on the battle emperor's body burst with intense light, unleashing powerful energy to resist this strike from the skeleton kings. Bone God Slash could ignore most defensive treasures, but it was blocked by the battle emperor's armor. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed. This set of armor is integrated with the soul. Not bad. Too bad that being a jack of all trades means master of none. How can one pursue perfection in the Great Tao? The Battle Realm's armor was very peculiar. It was both a defensive treasure and had the effect of enhancing combat power. It merged with the soul and could defend against attacks targeting the physical body as well as attacks targeting the soul. This was quite a comprehensive treasure, with all-around functionality. However, this also meant that each individual ability was mediocre. The Battle Emperor's armor was of a higher level, so its abilities in various aspects were stronger, but still limited. Faced with an overwhelmingly powerful attack beyond its level, the Battle Emperor's armor only held on for a few seconds before shattering with a boom. Bone God Slash exploded on the Battle Emperor's physical body and soul simultaneously. A scream rang out, then abruptly cut off. His body was shattered to pieces by Bone God Slash, flesh and blood exploding in space, broken apart along with his soul. Since the battle began, this was the first Battle Emperor to fall. Seeing this scene, the other Battle Emperors were so shocked they couldn't speak. Over a billion Supreme-level skeletons was one thing, but now there were also these terrifying legions, and giant skeletons as powerful as Peak Supremes had appeared. In the blink of an eye, a Battle Emperor had been killed, and died so decisively. The Battle Emperors felt they had been too optimistic before. The intelligence they received earlier was not accurate. This was no broken world, but a terrifying one. How is this possible? How could the Master's information be wrong? This world clearly didn't even have Supremes. The Master can't be wrong. This world suffered heavy losses in the last Great War and lost all its powerful experts long ago. The Master is indeed not wrong. We sensed earlier that this world's origin is broken. But we overlooked one point. This world once had celestial venerables. They were once powerful, and may have left behind many contingencies. These battle emperors had all held high positions and wielded power for tens of thousands of years. They were no strangers to planning. In an instant, they thought of various possibilities. But there was no time for them to lament further. The 50 skeleton kings were already charging straight for the Battle Emperor Palace. The Battle Emperor Palace burst with light, and the 10,000 giant pillars lit up simultaneously. One battle emperor after another appeared. Former. At the same time, the other battle emperors also returned to the palace. A total of 28 battle emperors stood atop the palace. Their auras merged into one, their battle armor shining brightly, waves of powerful origin force surging. The Battle Emperor Palace erupted with an earth-shaking aura. Complex patterns appeared on the 10,000 stone pillars, which transformed into countless giant fists smashing towards the Skeleton Kings. The Skeleton Kings raised their bone swords. Lost star seas enveloped their bodies like armor as they charged into the giant fists. Space rumbled non-stop. Large areas collapsed and shattered. The battle between peak supremes had an unimaginably immense impact. At this time, the skeleton army that had been besieging the 100-continent million city battle formation suddenly swung their swords in unison. Spell. Bone God Slash. They had inherited the Skeleton King's spell and also enjoyed the power boost from the Skeleton Kings. This strike was much stronger than their own attacks. The giant formed by the 100-continent million city battle formation kept retreating under the attacks. Screams of star warriors could be heard from inside. The attacks had penetrated into the giant's body, falling upon the star warriors. Some weaker star warriors were instantly injured. The Undead Legion immediately followed up. Their attacks were equally fierce. The Skeleton King's boost was equally effective on the Undead Legion. The Undead Legion's combat power had also increased by at least 50%. The giant evolved from the 100-continent million city battle formation was beaten back repeatedly. It likely wouldn't last much longer. Lin Moyu's mind moved slightly, and another billion skeletons flew out to join the battle. By now, over 2 billion skeleton generals had been deployed, though this was still less than 1/10 of the total force. But it was enough. Seeing another billion skeleton generals appear, the battle emperors' eyes widened. How are there still more? Just how many contingencies were left behind? It's endless. There are so many, we can't possibly kill them all. The sea of skeleton generals made them feel despair. Lin Moyu had a feeling that this battle would not be resolved so easily. The battle realm had come with such momentum. They couldn't possibly have only this much strength. Lin Moyu single-handedly took charge of the battlefield. The 4 origin divine beasts, Munanur, and the 100 battles supreme actually had nothing to do. Munanur called out to Lin Moyu, "If I'd known you had so many subordinates, why did you bother coming to find me, the city lord?" The 100 battles supreme's gaze also held the same question. Lin Moyu said, "When I went to Seoul City before, I wasn't this powerful. I've had some fortuitous encounters recently that gave me confidence." Munanur thought about it and felt this explanation was acceptable. The 100 battles supreme also felt it made sense. Lin Moyu really wasn't this strong back then. In just a short 1,000 years, Lin Moyu had become this powerful. It was beyond anyone's imagination. Even Lin Moyu himself hadn't expected it. If he had known it would be like this, he wouldn't have needed to run around seeking help from various forces. The Skeleton Kings were besieging the Battle Emperor Palace. The Battle Emperor Palace was extremely powerful and couldn't be taken down for the moment. But the Battle Emperors didn't dare leave the palace. Once they left, faced with 50 Skeleton Kings, the outcome was predictable. They could only rely on the power of the Battle Emperor Palace to barely hold on. The eyes of several battle emperors had long lost their earlier momentum. Now they just wanted to retreat, but unfortunately they couldn't even if they wanted to. The two worlds had already merged. In the end, only one side could survive. A ship flew over, seemingly slow but actually fast. Separated by millions of light years, it arrived before them in just one jump. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed. This ship is strange. The ship wasn't large, less than 100 meters. Complex patterns were carved on the ship, like runes, but different from the runes in the Great World. The ship also didn't emit any powerful aura, making it impossible to sense its strength. However, Lin Moyu instinctively felt this ship was extraordinary. The sudden appearance of the ship elicited the biggest reaction from the battle emperors. "It's the Master's ship. The Master has come. They're finished. The Master is actually intervening personally." The battle emperors exclaimed in surprise. The battle emperors, "Master, the person behind the battle realm, That celestial venerable, Lin Moyu murmured. He couldn't resist intervening so soon. No, he hasn't intervened. There's no one on the ship. Only the ship had come, with no living beings aboard. The ship shot out a beam of light that fell into the Battle Emperor Palace. The Battle Emperor Palace immediately changed. Several stone pillars that hadn't lit up before suddenly lit up. Chapter 2351, 2351. Chapter 2351. The power of space-time. They are not worthy. The Imperial Palace shook violently, filled with powerful auras. A beam of light from the spaceship caused the aura in the Imperial Palace to double in intensity. Lin Moyu was shocked, seeing astonishment in the eyes of the emperors as well. The emperors normally lived in the Imperial Palace and were very familiar with it. But now, they showed surprise, clearly unaware of what was happening. They don't know about the changes in the Imperial Palace. It seems to be a contingency plan from their master, which even the emperors were unaware of. Their master never fully trusted the emperors. As the Imperial Palace continued to shake, suddenly all of the Skeleton King's attacks missed their target. The palace was clearly there, but the Skeleton King's attacks passed right through it as if it were an illusion. The next moment, powerful attacks burst forth from the palace pillars. Sharp blade lights flew out, bombarding the Skeleton King. The Skeleton Kings were forced back, their armor shattering and bones breaking. Lin Moyu casually summoned the Legion ruler to heal the Skeleton Kings, while narrowing his eyes to scrutinize the Imperial Palace. The attack power of the Imperial Palace had nearly doubled, now surpassing the Skeleton Kings. Most crucially, the Imperial Palace had entered another layer of space-time, causing the Skeleton Kings to be unable to attack it. Yet its own attacks could penetrate space-time to strike the Skeleton Kings. Is this the space-time power of the Battle Realm? It is indeed different from that of the Great World, Lin Moyu said softly, seeing through the Imperial Palace's technique at a glance. He sensed the dual laws of time and space, not those of the Great World, but of the Battle Realm. The two types of laws had similarly fused into space-time power, greatly increasing the Imperial Palace's combat strength. This contingency had long been arranged in the Imperial Palace, but was never activated before. Even the emperors were unaware of it. The suddenly arriving spaceship had merely activated the space-time power, without actually doing anything else. Lin Moyu had a thought, and the Skeleton Kings simultaneously shifted their target to lock onto the suddenly appearing spaceship. Bone swords swung out, waves of attacks bombarding the spaceship. The spaceship hummed and flickered, space-time power flowing as it retreated at an astonishing speed, disappearing in the blink of an eye. The master of the Battle Realm had not truly intervened in this battle, but Lin Moyu knew he must be observing it. If the situation became unfavorable for the Battle Realm side, he would certainly take action. After activating its space-time power, the Imperial Palace had become a thorough porcupine. Moreover, it was the type that you couldn't hit, but it could still stab you. Waves of attacks shot out from the palace, carrying traces of space-time power. The powerful strikes continuously wounded the Skeleton Kings. At this point, the emperors had become mere tools, providing power for the Imperial Palace which was no longer under their control. They were quite helpless about this situation. Under the fierce attacks of the Imperial Palace, the Skeleton Kings became very passive. Even defending was difficult. The Azure Dragon growled, "I'll try using my origin power." Only origin power and space-time power could break through space-time. Though the Azure Dragon knew its origin power might not be able to break through the Imperial Palace, it had to try. Lin Moyu shook his head and smiled, "No need, I have a way." He didn't have origin power, but he did have space-time power. Using space-time power against space-time power may not be enough to damage the Imperial Palace, but it was sufficient to disrupt the space-time it occupied. Lin Moyu raised both hands lightly, space and time laws surging and converging, fusing into space-time power. Then he waved his hand, and the space-time power transformed into a long river, suddenly appearing above the Imperial Palace. The river poured down like a heavenly waterfall, countless streams of space-time power raining down. The space-time occupied by the Imperial Palace abruptly changed and shattered. It kept flickering, traversing through layer after layer of space-time. Its attacks became chaotic, seemingly unable to penetrate into the correct space-time. Though still attacking, the strikes passed through the Skeleton Kings' bodies without causing any damage. Inside the Imperial Palace, those emperors all showed shocked expressions. "What's happening? My physical body and soul feel wrong." They felt time and space were in chaos, indescribably uncomfortable. Finally, an emperor understood and pointed at Lin Moyu, that kid can also use space-time power. Though they were emperors, equivalent to peak supremes in the great world, they had never encountered space-time power before. Space-time power was very advanced. Even in the ancient era of the great world, few people could control it. When space-time power was needed, it required the cooperation of the time and space celestial venerables to accomplish. The emperors looked at Lin Moyu as if he were a monster. Controlling space-time power alone was terrifying. As expected of a once powerful world, so many geniuses. But it's useless, our master has already taken action, this world has no hope. Our master is invincible, the master is invincible. The master is invincible. At the mention of their master, the emperors, eyes filled with fanaticism, extremely devout. Lin Moyu heard their conversation through the space-time power and sneered repeatedly, the brainwashing was very successful. Do you know that your master is merely a celestial venerable? Lin Moyu had a feeling that although he had never met the peak supremes of the ancient era, he sensed these emperors were inferior to the peak supremes of the ancient great world. In the ancient era of the great world, peak supremes comprehended the virtual and real, yin and yang. They were truly only one step away from becoming celestial venerables. They had extremely profound insights into the laws of the entire world. Such figures had firm and strong hearts of the Tao, not easily brainwashed. He voiced his doubts, and Munanur said, they are just ordinary supremes with peak supreme power. They cannot possibly become celestial venerables. The vermilion bird also chimed in, I can sense that their battle realm was elevated by special methods. They actually don't have the qualifications to become peak supremes. He looked at the emperors in the imperial palace with a hint of disdain, they are not worthy. Lin Moyu thought of how the emperors appeared, appointed by their master. Before appointment, they may have only been high-level star warriors, then suddenly transformed into emperors with powerful strength. It was conceivable that they had been forcibly elevated. This power wasn't truly their own. In terms of real realm, they might only be high-level supremes, or perhaps not even that. As space-time power poured down, it disrupted the imperial palace's space-time power, forcing it to return to the present world. The Skeleton Kings launched fierce attacks again. Countless strikes landed on the imperial palace, bringing the battle back to square one. With the Legion ruler providing healing, the Skeleton Kings fought recklessly without fear of death or injury. This change made the emperors' expressions tense. They knew that once the palace's defenses were broken, they would face a life-or-death battle. On the other side, the giant formed by the 100-continent million-city battle formation had reached a dead end under the siege. Inside the continental cities, hundreds of weaker star warriors had already been gravely injured or killed. Massive attacks fell on the giant, with these star warriors bearing the damage, but they simply couldn't withstand it. Large numbers of cities shattered in the attacks, with many warriors flying out. They were all patrol warriors, weaker than star warriors and equivalent to venerable sages in the great world. Originally they should have been the main force in this great battle, but unfortunately they faced the freak Lin Moyu. Under the siege of over 100 million skeleton generals, these patrol warriors didn't even have the qualifications to be cannon fodder. Boom! The giant collapsed, stars exploded, and the 100-continent million-city battle formation finally couldn't hold on and shattered on the spot. Lin Moyu lightly pointed his finger, and invisible mist spread out. The skeleton hell suddenly appeared, covering the starry sky and swallowing the continental cities. You're finished. Chapter 2352, 2352. Chapter 2352. Robots, laser swords. The range of the bone hell reached 2 light years, encompassing 100 continents. Billions of hell spirits in the Saint Sovereign realm pounced on the fighters of the battle realm, and for a time, screams echoed through the starry sky. In the bone hell, rivers of hellfire roared and surged, engulfing cities and continents, destroying everything. In the blink of an eye, 100 continents and tens of thousands of cities had turned into a hellscape. The bone hell technique was indeed too cruel. Once swallowed by the bone hell, those below the starfighter level had almost no chance of survival. Even a few heavily injured starfighters could not escape the bone hell and would eventually be devoured by the hell spirits. The starfighters who managed to escape were trembling with fear, their bodies shaking uncontrollably. It was hard to imagine what they had just experienced, only they knew that they had walked through hell. The battle emperors' eyes widened in horror. What is this? Countless fighters from 100 continents and 10,000 cities, all gone just like that. How can this world be so terrifying? It's over, it's really over. No one survived in those continents and cities. The confidence they had just built up collapsed in the face of the bone hell. Not only the 100 continents and 10,000 cities, but even the star fighters who barely escaped were surrounded by the skeleton generals and the undead legion, making it almost impossible to escape. Even they might find it difficult to get away. However, they still had one last hope because they still had their master. They still believed that as long as their master took action, these skeletons would be nothing more than paper tigers. The shock was not only on the side of the battle realm. Lin Moyu's side, including Muniner and others, were also shocked by Lin Moyu's strength. Clearly only a half-step supreme, yet a half-step supreme was suppressing the entire battle realm. Such a person had never been seen even in ancient times. Muniner squinted her eyes. I wouldn't believe it if you said you were the favored son of the great world. Even the favored son wouldn't be like you. The white tiger said, we are the favored sons of the great world, but this guy is even more terrifying. I suspect he is the favored father of the great world. It spoke without restraint, saying whatever came to mind. This also showed how strong the shock Lin Moyu brought to it was. Lin Moyu smiled and did not respond to their teasing. His body and soul remained vigilant, always feeling that this battle was not so simple. The master of the battle realm must have a backup plan. It should be coming out soon. If it doesn't come out, these guys will be wiped out. Lin Moyu thought to himself, knowing that the master of the battle realm had been watching this battle all along. For some reason, he had not directly intervened, but his backup plan must be plentiful. Lin Moyu believed his intuition would not be wrong. Under the devouring of the bone hell, nearly all the fighters in the 100 continents were wiped out. The continents and cities were rapidly collapsing. The star fighters surrounded by the skeleton generals and the undead legion were also being killed one by one. Facing forces tens of thousands of times their own, they had no power to resist. Except for the Battle Emperor Palace still holding on, the Battle Realm's army had completely collapsed. Once the Battle Emperor Palace also collapsed, it would be time for a counterattack. Destroy everything in the Battle Realm and devour the origin of the Battle Realm. There was no need to wait until then. Once the 100 continents completely collapsed, the origin power within them would be devoured by the bone hell, causing severe damage to the Battle Realm. Lin Moyu knew that the master of the battle realm would not allow the origin to be devoured by the bone hell and would definitely take action. Lin Moyu's heart moved slightly. Since that's the case, let's catch him off guard. 10 drops of ancestral water flew out and fell into the bone hell. The aura of the bone hell surged, and the hell spirits roared wildly, becoming extremely excited. The rivers of hellfire also became more turbulent, and under the effect of the ancestral water, their power greatly increased. The 100 continents that were originally collapsing suddenly accelerated, more than doubling in speed. The origin power quickly revealed itself, a mass of void light flashing at the core of the continents. The origin power, possessing both void and reality, was of a very high level, and ordinary power could not compare to it. Even if Lin Moyu used the undying law, it would be difficult to corrode it. But the hell spirits were different. They also possessed void and reality power, and they had the characteristic of devouring everything. Even the origin power could be devoured, albeit slowly. Under Lin Moyu's deliberate actions, the 100 continents almost simultaneously collapsed, and the 100 portions of origin power were exposed at the same time. A roar of anger echoed from the depths of the starry sky, and a massive will descended, courting death. The master of the battle realm was finally enraged, and a massive power descended, passing through the bone hell, enveloping the portions of origin, trying to take them away. He indeed had limitations. The power that descended could only cover 50 portions, only managing to envelop half of the origin power. His power was extremely strong, and the bone hell could not stop it. The skeleton generals were all sent flying. The fighters could die, the continents could collapse, but the origin could not be damaged. If it had been devoured bit by bit before, he would have had time to take away all the portions of origin power. But Lin Moyu suddenly acted on all the portions of origin power at once, catching him off guard. Lin Moyu did not try to stop him. Facing the power of a celestial venerable, Lin Moyu knew he could not block it. All he could do was make the hell spirits speed up their devouring of the origin power, devouring as much as possible. The hellfire also surged wildly, 10 masses of flames spreading boundless fire, burning the origin power. Devouring the origin power, the bone hell was growing and strengthening at an astonishing rate. For the bone hell, origin power was the best nourishment, bar none. If it could devour all the portions of origin power, the bone hell would surely advance, and it was very likely to reach the supreme realm. Obviously, the master of the battle realm would not allow this to happen. After taking away 50 portions of origin power, his power descended again, enveloping the remaining 50 portions of origin power. Lin Moyu was powerless to stop it and could only watch as the origin power was taken away. However, the previous delay had caused damage to the 50 portions of origin power. In total, it was equivalent to 5 or 6 portions of origin power being devoured. Not a loss. Lin Moyu laughed inwardly, feeling that exchanging ancestral water for origin power was a good deal. You are courting death. The massive will descended again, filled with boundless anger. The loss of origin power was the source of his anger. In the eyes of such an existence, the life and death of the battle emperors were far less important than the origin power. Lin Moyu sneered, his soul voice vibrating, if you have the guts, come down here. He knew the other party had limitations, so he was fearless. At the same time, he really hoped the other party would come down, as the heavenly dragon was waiting. The distant space trembled, and a battleship suddenly appeared. From the battleship flew out black puppets, each with a unique appearance. They were about 10 meters tall, slender, without flesh, entirely made of steel, each holding a glowing sword. What is this? Such strange puppets. Munanur and the 4 origin divine beasts had never seen them before. Lin Moyu's eyes gleamed, robots, laser swords. Just by looking at the appearance of the puppets, they indeed looked like robots from his previous life. The weapons in their hands also looked very much like laser swords. Thinking of the technological treasure that turned Xiaozontian into the human emperor, Lin Moyu guessed that these puppets should be similar. The robot puppets had powerful auras, comparable to peak supremes, and there were over 100 of them. After leaving the battleship, they turned into streams of light, charging towards Lin Moyu. Chapter 2353, 2353. Chapter 2353, have you become a father yet? The target of these mechanical puppets is Lin Moyu. In the eyes of the Supreme Being, Lin Moyu is the main culprit. It might also be because Lin Moyu absorbed some of the source power, completely enraging him. For whatever reason, it is not wrong for him to want to kill Lin Moyu. The mechanical puppets were very fast. The skeleton god generals and the undead army were busy fighting the star warriors and couldn't come back to stop them in time. Lin Moyu had a thought, and the Death Dragon Knight Legion moved out. Led by the Legion rulers, though their combat power was not as strong as the undead army, they were still superior to the skeleton god generals. Under the Dominion technique, the Legion rulers possessed the power of mid-level supreme beings. The Legion ruler swung his battle blade, delivering a fatal blow to meet the mechanical puppets. The laser sword in the mechanical puppet's hand suddenly extended to an unimaginable length, instantly surpassing 10,000 meters. The light sword swung through the starry sky at an unreasonable speed, and the Legion rulers along with their Death Dragon Knight Legion were collectively shattered into pieces. The speed was too fast, and everything happened in an instant. The combat power of these mechanical puppets surpassed that of a Do Emperor. Lin Moyu finally understood what it meant by myriad paths of the Great Tao. The cultivation path of the Great World was just one of them. Technological cultivation paths could also be very powerful and mysterious. Just like the technological treasure that turned Xiaozontian into the human emperor, it couldn't be explained by the Great World's Tao. This must be his real backup plan, Lin Moyu thought calmly, planning to summon the Divine Lich. Although these mechanical puppets were strong, Lin Moyu believed his Divine Lich was even stronger. If he had a backup plan, so did Lin Moyu. Just as he was about to summon it, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped. A sword light cut through time and space, instantly reaching from afar. The sword light carried an aura of destruction, as if the entire world was about to collapse. The terrifying sword intent exploded, annihilating all life in its path. Everyone felt like they were about to die, the sword intent directly affecting their minds and souls, incredibly frightening. The sword light swept past Lin Moyu's location, arriving ahead of time and colliding with the mechanical puppets. The sword light exploded, obliterating everything in the starry sky, leaving nothing behind. This sword reached the pinnacle of supreme power, yet its contained strength surpassed even the peak of supreme power. Hundreds of mechanical puppets crumbled in the sword light, not a single one survived. The sword light gathered, revealing Lin Mohan within it. At this moment, the aura Lin Mohan displayed had already reached the level of a high supreme. With her high supreme level, she could unleash an attack capable of killing a peak supreme, which was truly astonishing. Lin Moyu had suddenly stopped because he sensed Lin Mohan's arrival. With his big sister here, there was no need for him to act. Big sister, you're mighty. Lin Moyu smiled and flattered. In his senses, Lin Mohan was stronger than before. Moreover, the sword she just used was clearly not her strongest one. Lin Mohan still carried a strong aura of the boundary sea, indicating she had just come from there. Lin Mohan's gaze was like a sword, sweeping over the distant warship. She swung the heaven and earth sword in her hand, and a sword light instantly crossed time and space, suddenly exploding on the warship. The warship emitted a strong light before being cut in half by the sword light, exploding violently in the starry sky. Lin Mohan was completely unreasonable, not uttering a single unnecessary word, her sword did all the talking. The next moment, Lin Mohan looked towards the Do Emperor's palace. The Do Emperors were terrified, one Lin Moyu was already too much, and now there was an even more terrifying one. Lin Mohan swung her sword again, and the sword light shone within the Do Emperor's palace. Boom! The palace trembled violently, stone pillars exploding one by one. The strong defenses of the palace were so weak against Lin Mohan, unable to withstand even a single sword. The Do Emperors roared, "Run!" They had no intention of fighting, escaping was their priority. The skeleton kings simultaneously raised their bone swords, each one targeting any 10 people, regardless of who they were, there would be overlaps anyway. Technique. Bone God Slash. The sword light shone, the armor on the Do Emperors also shone, and then shattered. 28 Do Emperors, regardless of which ones, were the result of forced growth. In the sword light, more than 10 Do Emperors died on the spot, the remaining 18 were severely injured. They fled in terror at the fastest speed. Lin Mohan lightly shook the heaven and earth sword in her hand, and in an instant, heaven and earth reversed. The world turned upside down, as if time flowed backward, the rules of heaven and earth changed in a moment. The Do Emperors, who were clearly fleeing, suddenly turned back the way they came. They were all terrified but couldn't control their bodies, wanting to leave but coming back. Lin Mohan lightly shook the heaven and earth sword again, freeze. Heaven and earth were locked. Everything was frozen, these Do Emperors struggled desperately but couldn't move. Then, countless sword lights shot from the heaven and earth sword, piercing their foreheads. 18 Do Emperors fell silent, their souls destroyed, dying on the spot. Lin Mohan looked at Lin Moyu, "Little brother, these are yours now." She had killed the Do Emperors and left their bodies for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "Thank you, big sister." Lin Mohan laughed, "I didn't come too late, did I?" Lin Moyu replied, "You came just in time, if it weren't for you, I would have been in trouble." Lin Mohan sneered, not believing Lin Moyu's words. She knew her brother's strength very well. Just looking at these skeleton kings, he must have had a backup plan. Munanur looked at Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu, muttering to herself, "Two freaks." Lin Mohan, at the high supreme level, could kill a peak supreme in seconds, and Lin Moyu, still half a step supreme, could suppress the entire Do realm alone. Comparatively, it seemed Lin Moyu was even stronger. Lin Mohan looked at Munanur, her eyes suddenly brightened. Munanur felt a chill, being stared at made her extremely uncomfortable, as if a sword was at her throat. Lin Moyu also felt a chill, Lin Mohan's gaze was very dangerous, could it be? Lin Mohan looked for a while and sighed, "What a pity." Munanur asked curiously, "What's a pity?" Lin Mohan replied, "It's a pity you're already dead, otherwise you could marry my brother, your figure looks very fertile." Munanur's eyelids twitched, feeling a sense of anger. Lin Moyu transmitted to her, "Don't mind, my sister is just joking." Munanur responded, "I know." She thought to herself, "I must endure." Facing Lin Mohan's strong presence, whether it was a joke or not, she had to endure. That sword of hers was not something to be trifled with. Munanur had recognized the sword in Lin Mohan's hand as the Heaven and Earth Sword, once a treasure of the Heaven and Earth Sword sect, one of the Divine Sword Supremes, paired swords. Although it wasn't a supreme treasure, its power was still astonishing, and she didn't want to be struck by it. Lin Mohan suddenly asked Lin Moyu, "It's been over 1,000 years, have you become a father yet?" Before Lin Moyu could answer, Lin Mohan continued, "I don't feel the continuation of our bloodline, what's going on with you, not having a child in over 1,000 years? Faced with Lin Mohan's sudden questioning, Lin Moyu felt helpless. "Sis, now isn't the time to talk about this, right?" Lin Mohan dismissed it. "What's more important than continuing the bloodline, what have you been doing for the past 1,000 years?" Lin Moyu felt helpless. He wasn't not trying, working almost every day like an old ox, but what could he do if he couldn't conceive? Suddenly, both he and Lin Mohan turned their heads, looking deep into the starry sky. A terrifying aura descended, a large hole appeared deep in the starry sky. The boundary sea was pouring in through the hole, along with it came a mighty being. The pressure swept through, space stopped fluctuating, freezing in an instant. Lin Moyu murmured, that supreme being finally couldn't hold back. He took out the dragon scale of the heavenly dragon and activated it. Chapter 2354. 2354. Chapter 2354. I can break the rules, you cannot. A dragon's roar came from the dragon scale, and a voice only Lin Moyu could hear echoed in his soul. He's here, I can already sense that guy, don't worry. The voice was somewhat urgent, and the heavenly dragon's tone was peculiar. However, Lin Moyu did not think much of it. If the heavenly dragon said he was coming, then he was indeed coming. Although the heavenly dragon had a strange temper, he was reliable in his actions, at least he kept his word. The pressure of the celestial venerable swept over, and just the pressure alone was enough to make a saint's sovereign soul collapse. Munanur and the Supreme of 100 Battles looked extremely grim. Munanur said, this is a celestial venerable. The Supreme of 100 Battles also said in a low voice, didn't they say there were no celestial venerables in the battle realm? Lin Moyu stared at the descending celestial venerable, not worried because the heavenly dragon would take action. Lin Mohan said softly, celestial venerable, I don't know if I can beat him. Her eyes were filled with fighting spirit, without a trace of fear, instead, there was a sense of eagerness. Lin Moyu said, we don't need to take action, someone will deal with him. Lin Mohan was slightly stunned, then smiled, little you really have countless backup plans. Lin Moyu said, just lucky, not as powerful as you, big sister. Lin Mohan laughed charmingly. Hearing Lin Moyu's words, she relaxed and didn't take the impending celestial venerable seriously at all. This showed the extent of her trust in Lin Moyu. Munanur asked, what backup plan do you have to deal with a celestial venerable? In ancient times, there were powerful celestial venerables in the great world. Even if 1 or 2 celestial venerables came from the battle realm, it wouldn't be a problem. But now, where are the celestial venerables? She knew very well that only a celestial venerable could deal with another celestial venerable. Even a group of peak supremes wouldn't be enough. It's not just a matter of power difference but a fundamental difference in level. If a celestial venerable didn't want to tangle, no number of peak supremes could kill him. They could fight if they wanted, leave if they wanted, there was no playing around. Lin Moyu had never seen a living celestial venerable before, and he wanted to see what was so special about them. This celestial venerable from the battle realm wore a purple robe, exuding a noble aura. From his appearance, he seemed to be human. At least Lin Moyu couldn't see any difference between him and humans. Lin Moyu said softly, is the celestial venerable human? Lin Mohan nodded, it seems so, at least I can't see any difference. Lin Moyu pondered, if this celestial venerable was human, it meant there were also humans in the realm sea. The celestial venerable descended, waved his hand, and the holes in the starry sky rapidly shrank, disappearing in the blink of an eye. The aura of the realm sea also disappeared with his wave, not just the realm sea. With another wave, the starry sky became clear, all impurities disappeared. After doing all this, he lightly patted his robe, as if to remove the last bit of dust. A light breeze blew on his robe, a glimmer flashed, and it became incomparably clear. Lin Moyu watched this scene and couldn't help but laugh, he seems to have a cleanliness obsession. Lin Mohan nodded, not just an obsession, but a severe one. Facing the celestial venerable, the siblings showed no signs of tension. The celestial venerable took a step, crossing billions of miles, arriving effortlessly. He glanced at the broken Battle Emperor Palace, lightly pointed his finger, and the Battle Emperor Palace turned to dust in an instant, with a mass of origin power being taken back by him. His tone was full of arrogance, he was a celestial venerable, high above, looking down on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu laughed, the guys you trained are not very good. Confronting him head-on, Lin Moyu was full of sarcasm, not giving the celestial venerable any face. Unexpectedly, the celestial venerable did not get angry but smiled, indeed, they are a bunch of trash. I want to give you a chance to live, become my subordinate, and I will allow you to survive. Lin Moyu smiled, sounds tempting, may I know your name? The celestial venerable said, I am the purple robe celestial venerable. Wearing a purple robe and called the Purple Robe Celestial Venerable, he truly lived up to his name. Lin Moyu said, Purple Robe Celestial Venerable, since you trained a bunch of trash, as their trainer, you are probably not much better than trash. You are a Celestial Venerable, at most a more powerful piece of trash. Bold. The Purple Robe Celestial Venerable's face changed drastically, roaring in anger, his entire face turning purple. A powerful pressure came crashing down, Lin Mohan lightly shouted, and the heaven and earth sword flew out, landing in front of her, emitting a fierce sword cry, blocking the Celestial Venerable's pressure. The Purple Robe Celestial Venerable showed a look of surprise, a treasure close to the Celestial Venerable level, and it even has a spirit, truly a rare treasure. Although this world is broken, it still has some good things left. It seems I need to search carefully. Lin Moyu suddenly sneered, search. You can't even protect yourself, better take care of yourself first. Heavenly Dragon, bite him. As soon as the words fell, the starry sky shattered, a huge hole appeared, directly connecting to the realm sea. Dragon roars echoed, and the Heavenly Dragon rushed out of the hole, heading straight for the Purple Robe Celestial Venerable. The Heavenly Dragon did not fly from the starry sky but directly from the realm sea. The Purple Robe Celestial Venerable's face changed drastically, Dragon Clan. Correct. The Heavenly Dragon roared, spewing a dragon breath. The Purple Robe Celestial Venerable seemed to know the power of the dragon breath, not daring to confront it, quickly retreating, shouting, the Dragon Clan cannot interfere in the world's disputes, you are breaking the rules. The Heavenly Dragon chased madly, you talk about rules. We are on par, and besides, I want to break the rules, what can you do? The Purple Robe Celestial Venerable roared, aren't you afraid of the Dragon Clan's punishment? The Heavenly Dragon laughed loudly, they are right behind me. Sure enough, behind the Heavenly Dragon, 3 more dragons were chasing him. 3 dragons, 1 at the Celestial Venerable level, 2 at the Supreme level. The Celestial Venerable level dragon roared angrily, Heavenly Dragon, stop immediately, the clan rules forbid interfering in the world's disputes, I order you to stop immediately. The Heavenly Dragon ignored him, instead saying to Lin Moyu, kid, help me hold off these guys, so they don't get in the way. Lin Moyu then understood that the Heavenly Dragon must have been disturbed by them earlier, which is why he spoke urgently and arrived a bit late. Hearing the Heavenly Dragon's words, Lin Moyu didn't hesitate, the Skeleton King immediately launched an attack on the 3 dragons. At this moment, he didn't care about the rules, nor would he hesitate. The Heavenly Dragon came here to help him, how could he be timid? However, he was also measured, not going for the kill. Perhaps in the future, he would join Antares in attacking the Dragon Clan, but not now. Sword light flashed, weaving layers of sword curtains, blocking the 3 dragons. Without the pursuers, the Heavenly Dragon acted more recklessly, laughing wildly, don't worry, they won't fight you, they don't dare to break the rules. You just fight, as long as you don't kill them, do whatever you want. Lin Moyu laughed, aren't they just living targets? The Heavenly Dragon laughed loudly, yes, these guys are like that, just hit them, the Dragon Clan is tough, don't hold back. The more the Heavenly Dragon roared, the more excited he became, and his attacks grew heavier. He wasn't here to play, he was here to kill. The Heavenly Dragon roared madly, you are dead today, you broke the rules, I will eat you today, eat your rule world, refine you. I can break the rules, you cannot. Don't think about escaping, you can't escape. The Purple Robe Celestial Venerable's face grew uglier and uglier. Although he was also a Celestial Venerable, his combat power was hard to match that of a Dragon Clan Celestial Venerable. Among the same level, the Dragon Clan's combat power was famously strong. He regretted coming here, but it was too late, he had to think about how to escape. The Heavenly Dragon suddenly spat out a branch, which turned into a big tree, covering the starry sky. The Dragon God's branch sealed the starry sky, trapping the Purple Robe Celestial Venerable within, with no escape. Chapter 2355, 2355. Chapter 2355. Sis, I take 2, you take 1. The Skeleton King, the Undead Legion, the Death Knight, and hundreds of millions of skeleton generals formed an impenetrable net, completely surrounding the 3 dragons. Lin Moyu smiled and said, sorry everyone, let's just wait here for a while, without interfering with each other, okay. He certainly wouldn't act as recklessly as the Heavenly Dragon. The Heavenly Dragon could act recklessly, but he could not. After all, the Dragon Clan was incredibly powerful. If they broke the rules, he would be the one to suffer. The celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm looked coldly at Lin Moyu. Do you know what you are doing? Lin Moyu shook his head. I don't know anything. I also don't know what rules your dragon clan has. The heavenly dragon is my friend, and I can only help him. I really don't want to fight you, so let's just wait here, okay? The celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm looked at Lin Moyu, unable to think of a way to break the stalemate. The rules of the dragon clan were indeed as the heavenly dragon had said. They could not fight with the people of this world. It wasn't that they couldn't fight at all, it depended on the situation. If faced with a life and death crisis, they could naturally take action. If it was just to kill a few small characters, the impact wouldn't be significant. After all, small characters wouldn't affect the world's development. But if they killed an important figure in the world, it would be equivalent to affecting the world's development, breaking the rules, and the dragon clan would impose punishment. The dragon clan had secret methods to determine who was an important figure in the world. In the eyes of the celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm, Lin Moyu was closely connected to this world. Lin Moyu was definitely an important figure in this world and couldn't be killed. Lin Mohan, on the other hand, didn't seem as closely connected, but there was something strange about her. In the eyes of the celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm, Lin Mohan didn't seem to be from this world. But strangely, Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu were extremely closely connected, like an inseparable whole. Moreover, their appearances were very similar, leading him to conclude that they were likely siblings. This puzzled him greatly. Two siblings, one an important figure in the world, the other seemingly unrelated to the world. What kind of situation was this? He fell into deep thought, confused by this question. From the outside, he appeared motionless, as if he had listened to Lin Moyu's words and was letting the heavenly dragon break the rules without intervening. In fact, he could indeed not intervene. The one breaking the rules was the heavenly dragon, not him. If the dragon clan imposed punishment, it would be on the heavenly dragon, not him. He could completely watch from the sidelines, being a bystander dragon, especially now that he had a more appropriate reason. The celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm remained silent, and the two celestial dragons in the supreme realm behind him didn't move either. They were obedient dragons, following their superiors' orders, speaking less and doing more. Lin Mohan transmitted, the way the dragon clan thinks is quite interesting. Lin Moyu nodded slightly, indeed, but this is good. I don't have to bother. Lin Mohan smiled, her beautiful eyes looking towards the heavenly dragon. The dragon god's branch turned into a giant tree, enveloping the purple-robed celestial venerable within. The giant tree covered the sky, making it impossible to see inside from the outside. From the commotion, it seemed the heavenly dragon had the upper hand. The heavenly dragon's laughter was wild and unrestrained, constantly shouting with joy. The purple-robed celestial venerable roared continuously, unleashing waves of powerful spells, but he couldn't do anything to the heavenly dragon. Through the eye of the undead, Lin Moyu saw the soul fire of the purple-robed celestial venerable flickering unsteadily. He shouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. Lin Mohan said softly, a celestial venerable, I really want to use his blood to consecrate my sword. Lin Moyu glanced at her, I'll talk to the heavenly dragon about it later. It's not impossible. Lin Mohan shook her head, no need. If I want the blood of a celestial venerable, I'll take it myself. I don't need anyone to give it to me. Lin Mohan raised her head, revealing her jade-like neck, as proud as a swan. Lin Moyu flattered, sis, you're mighty. The giant tree shook, the rumbling continued, and lightning flashed through the gaps, shattering the Star River wherever it passed. The battle between celestial venerables was not something ordinary people could intervene in. Even the aftermath was hard to withstand. The dragon god's branch, transforming into a giant tree, not only trapped the purple-robed celestial venerable but also blocked most of the aftermath. Even so, the occasional leakage of power could still shatter the Star River, killing any supreme who touched it. Lin Moyu stared at the giant tree, seeing the soul fire of the purple-robed celestial venerable trembling more and more violently, indicating his worsening condition. The soul fire of the heavenly dragon remained stable, and Lin Moyu knew that the heavenly dragon had firmly gained the upper hand. It shouldn't take long to determine the outcome. He knew that the purple-robed celestial venerable wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. There was indeed a gap in their strength. Suddenly, the soul fire of the purple-robed celestial venerable surged violently. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly, retreat. He wielded the power of space-time, covering a large area of the starry sky and retreating with several people. Lin Mohan reacted quickly, the heaven and earth sword flew out, transforming into a sword domain, weaving sword light to block in front of them. A massive force burst out from the giant tree, creating a huge hole, and the purple-robed celestial venerable rushed out. At this moment, the purple-robed celestial venerable was disheveled, his previously spotless purple robe now tattered, with many fresh bloodstains on it. The purple-robed celestial venerable looked extremely embarrassed, no longer having his previous noble appearance. After escaping, the first thing the purple-robed celestial venerable did was look at Lin Moyu and the others, his eyes filled with intense killing intent, wishing to tear Lin Moyu to pieces. However, the heavenly dragon also rushed out of the hole, laughing wildly, "You're quite capable, but you still can't escape." The purple-robed celestial venerable said nothing, throwing out 3 objects. The starry sky exploded, powerful pressure sweeping across the starry sky, and 3 puppets appeared. The puppets emitted a terrifying aura, comparable to that of a celestial venerable. Celestial venerable level puppets. Lin Moyu was shocked, then immediately denied his own thought. No, not celestial venerable, but stronger than peak supremes. Although the 3 puppets had an aura close to that of a celestial venerable, Lin Moyu could see at a glance that they were not truly celestial venerable level and couldn't compare to a real celestial venerable. But it was certain that they were stronger than peak supremes. The heavenly dragon shouted, "Pseudo-celestial venerable puppets, you have quite a stockpile. But relying on these 3 pieces of trash to save your life, you're dreaming." The heavenly dragon's words confirmed Lin Moyu's thoughts. So these were called pseudo-celestial venerable puppets. After the 3 pseudo-celestial venerable puppets appeared, they didn't fight the heavenly dragon but charged straight at Lin Moyu. The purple-robed celestial venerable fled in another direction. Lin Moyu immediately understood the purple-robed celestial venerable's plan. The purple-robed celestial venerable wanted to use the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets to kill him, forcing the heavenly dragon to save him. As long as he could delay for a while, he would have enough time to escape. Lin Moyu immediately shouted, "You go after him, I'll handle the 3 puppets." The heavenly dragon laughed, "That's what I was thinking." He knew some of Lin Moyu's trump cards. The 3 puppets wouldn't be able to kill Lin Moyu easily. The heavenly dragon indeed ignored the puppets and chased after the purple-robed celestial venerable. The 3 pseudo-celestial venerable puppets obeyed the purple-robed celestial venerable's command and attacked instantly. Lin Moyu quickly said, "Sis, I take 2, you take 1. Lin Mohan responded with a hum, lightly shouting, and the sword of destruction appeared behind her. Black flames blazed on the sword of destruction, with a purple line running through it. Powerful sword energy surged in the starry sky, shredding the starry sky to pieces. Muniner and the Supreme of 100 Battles both groaned, feeling the pain. The naturally emitted sword energy alone made them feel terrified. What kind of sword is this, so terrifying? This is her trump card, such a powerful sword. Compared to 1,000 years ago, Lin Mohan's sword of destruction was even stronger. Chapter 2356, 2356. Chapter 2356. Pseudo-celestial venerable puppets are nothing special. Lin Mohan gripped her rule world and grasped the sword of destruction. The heaven and earth sword automatically flew over and merged with the sword of destruction. In an instant, the sword energy surged, whipping up a storm of sword chi. Lin Moyu waved his hand, using the power of space-time to retreat with Muniner and the Supreme of 100 Battles. No one could stand near Lin Mohan anymore. At the same time, he didn't forget to flatter her, "Big sis is mighty." Lin Mohan transformed into a sharp sword that could destroy everything, making it impossible for people to look at her directly. The celestial venerable dragon surrounded by skeletons was also awakened by the sword energy. His dragon scales constantly made clanging sounds, as if countless sword energies were striking them. The dragon looked at Lin Mohan and murmured, "She looks a bit familiar, have I seen her somewhere before?" His eyes were filled with confusion, becoming more and more perplexed. Lin Mohan locked onto one of the puppets, transformed into a sharp sword, and attacked. Sword light enveloped that puppet, and the puppet quickly launched a counterattack. The other 2 puppets still charged straight at Lin Moyu. They loyally executed their master's orders, ignoring their companion's situation. The purple-robed celestial venerable's order was to kill Lin Moyu. Of course, these puppets were very advanced and also had battle instincts. While loyally executing their master's orders, they would also instinctively engage in battle. Muniner said in a low voice, "They're coming." Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "Don't worry, I have puppets too." He moved his mind and threw out the blood-devouring puppet. At the same time, several soul pearls flew out, injecting soul power into the blood-devouring puppet. The blood-devouring puppet was instantly activated, turning into a 100-meter giant, standing in front of Lin Moyu. The blood-devouring puppet emitted the aura of a peak supreme. Although it wasn't as strong as the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets, the blood-devouring puppet had its own advantages. It was very difficult to kill, and as long as there was blood to replenish it, the blood-devouring puppet's recovery ability was enough to give most opponents a headache. As for blood, Lin Moyu had plenty. He had prepared more than enough. He also had countless soul pearls, enough to support the blood-devouring puppet in battle for hundreds or thousands of years. In Lin Moyu's estimation, the blood-devouring puppet could easily hold off one pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Then Lin Moyu snapped his fingers, and the space around him distorted as the Divine Power Lich appeared. The Divine Power Lich also emitted the aura of a peak supreme. Lin Moyu lightly flicked his finger, and 2 drops of ancestral water flew out, falling on the blood-devouring puppet and the Divine Power Lich respectively. Both of their auras surged simultaneously. The ancestral water at least doubled their combat power, making the gap between them and the pseudo-celestial venerables even smaller. Next, a strange aura emerged from Lin Moyu's body as the power of belief burned fiercely. Over so many years, Lin Moyu didn't know how much belief power he had accumulated. He couldn't even calculate it clearly. At this moment, he was not stingy at all, burning hundreds of millions of belief power to raise the combat power of the blood-devouring puppet and the Divine Power Lich to their limits. With the addition of belief power, their auras were no weaker than the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets. The blood-devouring puppet and the Divine Power Lich charged out with a boom, colliding with the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets. Intense battle shockwaves rippled through space, and the entire starry sky exploded. The nearby skeleton generals and undead legion almost instantly collapsed. Lin Moyu quickly retreated with Munanur and the Supreme of 100 battles, using space-time power to avoid the shockwave impact. The blood-devouring puppet and the Divine Power Lich displayed astonishing combat power, not falling behind at all. Munanur looked at Lin Moyu with a complex gaze. How many more trump cards do you have? Lin Moyu shook his head. No more. No more trump cards. Munanur didn't believe it. From the beginning until now, Lin Moyu himself hadn't even made a move yet. Although Lin Moyu appeared to be only at the half-step supreme realm, could his combat power really be only at the half-step supreme level? At least Munanur didn't believe it. Lin Moyu watched the battlefield. Lin Mohan was going all out, with sword light interweaving like rain to form a terrifying sword domain, whipping up an astonishing sword chi storm. She was already suppressing the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Wherever the sword of destruction passed, the starry sky shattered. Although the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet was sturdy, it still had sword marks carved into it. Lin Mohan's side seemed to have no problems at all. Looking at his own side, the blood-devouring puppet's combat power was slightly weaker than the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet, but the blood-devouring puppet's recovery ability was too strong. Moreover, with a constant supply of resources, it had firmly entangled its opponent. For now, there were no problems at all. The Divine Power Lich threw punch after punch, each one heavy and powerful. One punch could break all techniques. No matter how sharp the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet's attacks were, the Divine Power Lich broke them with a single punch. For now, they were evenly matched. Pseudo-celestial venerable puppets are nothing special. It's time to end this. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the Divine Power Lich's body radiated with a glow, revealing a strange link. The Power Dao appeared, and the Divine Power Lich's power instantly surged. The first punch, 10-fold increase. The second punch, 100-fold increase. The third punch, 1,000-fold increase. Without ancestral water and belief power, the third punch could already touch the threshold of a celestial venerable. Now with ancestral water and belief power, Lin Moyu couldn't estimate how strong the third punch would be. However, it was definitely enough to deal with a pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. The first punch was thrown. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet that was evenly matched with the Divine Power Lich was immediately sent flying. Lin Moyu saw that its chest had large cracks appearing. Even the sturdy puppet material couldn't withstand the Divine Power Lich's heavy punch. This was just the first punch. If it couldn't even withstand the first punch, there was no way it could withstand the second punch. The Divine Power Lich instantly caught up with the puppet that had been sent flying and suddenly threw the second punch. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet knew no fear and also swung its fist to block. Boom! The puppet exploded. Its arm was instantly shattered, and the divine power Lish's heavy punch landed on the puppet's body. The puppet's body was smashed to pieces, with countless materials scattering in space. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet couldn't even withstand the second punch before being destroyed. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the skeletons immediately flew over to collect the scattered materials. These materials were good stuff, they couldn't be wasted. The divine power Lich, cloaked in the power Tao, charged towards another pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Muniner was already dumbfounded. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet had been killed just like that. This was a pseudo-celestial venerable, stronger than a peak supreme, yet it was killed so easily. She muttered, unable to speak, feeling that it wasn't quite normal, but it also seemed very normal. Lin Moyu seemed to have known it would be like this all along. That celestial venerable dragon, still surrounded and pondering questions, widened his dragon eyes again. He could hardly believe it. Tao laws. How can people in this world possess Tao laws? He looked at the divine power Lich, then at Lin Moyu, murmuring, who exactly is he? Lin Moyu sensed the dragon's gaze but paid no attention to it. He knew the dragon had recognized the Tao laws on the divine power Lich and was surprised. It was normal. The heavenly dragon had been surprised before and later explained to him what Tao laws were. From the heavenly dragon's perspective, the laws in the great world were just laws belonging to the great world. Once they left the great world, the power of these laws would be greatly weakened or even lose effect. Lin Moyu had encountered this problem when he first entered the Realm Sea. His combat power was weakened, and the undying undead lost effectiveness. But Tao laws were different. They came from a higher level. They were not only effective in the great world but also worked in the Realm Sea. The Realm Sea worlds had their own laws. Although the laws of the Realm Sea worlds also came from Tao laws, they had evolved into completely different versions. Under the interference of the Realm Sea world laws, it was unlikely for people in the Realm Sea worlds to comprehend Tao laws. At least the heavenly dragon had never seen it, and probably this dragon hadn't either. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so surprised. The divine power Lich charged in front of another pseudo-celestial venerable puppet and threw the third punch. A strange phenomenon occurred, and a giant appeared in the starry sky. Chapter 2357, 2357. Chapter 2357. I guarantee you won't die. The moment the giant appeared, the Star River became fragmented, and the entire great world roared as if it couldn't bear the giant's power. The giant, like the divine power Lich, was clad in the laws of the great Tao, expressionless. It slowly raised its hand and gradually brought down a punch. At that moment, the entire starry sky fell silent, and all the laws and rules were extinguished. It seemed as if nothing could survive under this punch. The powerful and invisible force locked onto the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Without even looking, Lin Moyu knew the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet was doomed. Lin Moyu was also a bit surprised by the appearance of this giant. The celestial venerable dragon's eyes widened even more than before, and he murmured, even the true body of the great Tao has appeared. What kind of situation is this? I have comprehended for so many years and have not been able to comprehend the true body of the great Tao. How did he manage to do it? This time, he only murmured in his heart, and no one else could hear it. However, his expression couldn't hide from others. From his expression, Lin Moyu could deduce that this suddenly appearing giant was not simple. With a punch, the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet had no resistance. Before the fist even landed, its body had already begun to shatter. By the time the fist truly landed, the puppet had completely exploded, dead beyond any possibility of revival. After 3 punches, the power Tao fell into cooldown, and the divine power Lich returned to its normal state. At this time, the starry sky trembled again, and a giant sword appeared. The giant sword was infinitely large, even larger than the previous giant, spanning more than billions of miles. The shape of this sword was the same as the sword of destruction, covered in black flames. Strangely, whether viewed from near or far, it was difficult to see the full appearance of this sword. This sword seemed to be truly infinite, occupying the entire field of vision. The moment the giant sword appeared, the starry sky was cut open, and the realm sea directly appeared on the other side. The terrifying sword chi tore open the world's barrier while blocking the realm sea, preventing a single drop of realm sea water from flowing in. The celestial venerable dragon, who had not yet recovered from the giant's appearance, was once again shocked by the giant sword, trembling all over, and his dragon scales clattered. Another true body of the great Tao. Is this the sword Tao? Which sword Dao is this? I've never seen it before. He was in turmoil, feeling that today he had truly opened his eyes and witnessed a bunch of monsters. This mid-level supreme woman actually possessed the true body of the great Dao, which was too terrifying. One sword, cut the sea. Lin Mohan shouted, and the giant sword slashed down, causing the world's barrier outside the realm sea to collapse. The realm sea was cut off by the giant sword, revealing a large vacuum. Under the sweep of the sword chi, the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet turned into powder, not even leaving a trace of debris. Lin Moyu immediately felt heartache. Sis, be gentle. Lin Mohan replied, I can't be gentle, I still can't control this sword. Well, that was an irrefutable reason. The giant sword disappeared, and Lin Mohan's aura plummeted, barely maintaining the supreme realm. After all, she was only a mid-level supreme, and this sword had already used all her strength. Moreover, Lin Moyu felt that this sword had not been fully unleashed, only half of it. If it had been fully unleashed, the power might have been even greater, possibly shattering the great world. The inheritance that Lin Mohan awakened was indeed very outrageous, and its origin was unknown. The three pseudo-celestial venerables were smoothly dealt with, and Lin Moyu retracted the puppets and the divine power lich, now just waiting for the heavenly dragon to return. He had been chasing the purple-robed celestial venerable, and Lin Moyu didn't know where he had gone, but he wasn't worried about his safety. At this moment, the celestial venerable dragon spoke, Little guy, you can retract these puppets now. He has already gone far, and I won't stop him anymore. Even if he broke the rules, it won't be me who punishes him. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and with a thought, he retracted all the skeletons. He bowed slightly to the dragon, may I know the senior's esteemed name? The dragon said, you can call me Zhu Tianyan. The dragon revealed his name, and although it was just a name, it had a different meaning among the dragon clan. The dragon clan generally didn't like to tell others their true names. Only when they recognized the other party would they reveal their true names. Zhu Tianyan recognized Lin Moyu's strength, so he revealed his name. The heavenly dragon's surname was also Zhu, and his full name was Zhu Tianlong, but he usually went by the name Tianlong. Lin Moyu also knew that Antares was not his real name, it was something he made up. It wasn't that he didn't want to say it, but there were some special reasons why he couldn't. Lin Moyu said to Zhu Tianyan, thank you, senior, for your understanding. I had no choice just now. Zhu Tianyan said, that kid Tianlong has a temper like that. This time he has caused trouble, and I don't know what punishment he will face. Lin Moyu said, I believe Tianlong has his own decisions. As a friend, I can only support him unconditionally. Zhu Tianyan laughed, it's rare for that kid to have a friend. It's really surprising. Lin Moyu wanted to say something more but suddenly looked up into the distance. In the starry sky, a stream of light crossed the space and came. The heavenly dragon was back, but his aura was somewhat off. Lin Moyu frowned, Tianlong is injured. Zhu Tianyan also noticed, the injury is not light. A celestial venerable has arrived, and not just one. His expression became serious, and Lin Moyu also sensed the aura of celestial venerables. There was more than one celestial venerable, at least 4, chasing the heavenly dragon all the way here. Zhu Tianyan flew out, bypassing the heavenly dragon, and spewed endless dragon breath, blocking the pursuing celestial venerables. Lin Moyu took a step forward, arriving beside the heavenly dragon, what's going on? The heavenly dragon spat out a corpse, the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable, and then said, I didn't expect this guy to have backers. The purple-robed celestial venerable was killed by the heavenly dragon, but before he died, his backers arrived. 4 of them came, all celestial venerables. One of the celestial venerables was very strong, and the heavenly dragon was no match for him, so he had no choice but to flee back. The other party chased him all the way, clearly not willing to let the heavenly dragon go. The heavenly dragon returned and handed the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable to Lin Moyu, then shouted to Zhu Tianyan, help me block them, I'll leave first. He still wanted to escape, using Zhu Tianyan's interception to get away. He said to Lin Moyu, don't worry, they don't dare to attack this world. Otherwise, the dragon clan won't let them go. Lin Moyu laughed, they dare to kill even you. Quote. Meaning that if they dared to kill a celestial venerable dragon, they wouldn't care about the dragon clan's retaliation. The heavenly dragon explained, it's different. The specific rules are very complicated. You'll understand in the future. I'll leave first. See you later if fate allows. Lin Moyu stopped him. No rush, let's see first. The heavenly dragon frowned. I'm afraid if we keep watching, we won't be able to leave. Lin Moyu said, I guarantee you won't die, trust me. With the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable in hand, Lin Moyu was not afraid of the other celestial venerables. If a fight really broke out, the explosion of the corpse would teach them a lesson. In the realm sea, the power of a corpse explosion was uncertain, but here in the great world, a corpse explosion would definitely hit them hard. The heavenly dragon's eyes turned, and he chose to believe Lin Moyu. Zhu Tianyan blocked the 4 celestial venerables, his voice cold. Which sect are you from? How dare you chase and kill a dragon of our clan? His aura was vast and imposing, not putting the 4 celestial venerables in his eyes. The leader of the 4 celestial venerables said in a deep voice, you don't need to know which sect we are from. According to the rules, your dragon clan cannot intervene in the world's disputes. He broke the rules and killed our people, so he is no longer protected by your dragon clan's rules. A rule, sounding a bit complex, but Lin Moyu basically understood it from a few words. Chapter 2358, 2358. Chapter 2358. Antares attack. The dragon clan is very strong, and they have their own rules. They remain neutral in all worlds, and their existence does not affect the overall situation of any world. The dragon clan does not interfere with the operation of various worlds, nor do they involve themselves in world conflicts. This is the rule of the dragon clan, but the heavenly dragon broke this rule. Not only did he interfere, but he also killed a celestial venerable. As a result, he is no longer protected by the dragon clan, and the other party can hunt him down. However, Zhu Tianyan did not break the rules, so for now, these people still have to give Zhu Tianyan face. Lin Moyu whispered, do you know who they are? Judging by their attire, they should be from the same force. The heavenly dragon shook his head, who knows? There are so many forces under the sky, it could be a family or a sect. I had thought of this before, but I didn't expect them to be nearby. Lin Moyu said, are you sure you can escape? The heavenly dragon nodded, of course, I'm not made of mud. The world is so big, if I really want to escape, how could they find me with just a few celestial venerables? Lin Moyu looked at the situation. What do you think Senior Zhu Tianyan will do? The heavenly dragon said, this guy is the most rule-abiding. I guess 9 times out of 10, he won't interfere. At this moment, Zhu Tianyan said, this time we indeed broke the rules, but... Quote. His aura suddenly surged, so what if we broke the rules? What do you plan to do about it? The sudden change caught the heavenly dragon off guard. The heavenly dragon stared, is this guy crazy? Zhu Tianyan, who had always been the most rule-abiding, suddenly disregarded the rules. This contrast made the heavenly dragon somewhat unable to accept it. Zhu Tianyan's behavior was completely opposite to what he remembered. Zhu Tianyan's sudden assertiveness made the 4 celestial venerables' faces change. Although your dragon clan is powerful, these rules are not for you to break. Breaking the rules, you know the consequences. Before he could finish speaking, the world's barrier suddenly cracked, the realm sea churned, and dragon roars echoed. A terrifying pressure came from outside the world, transforming into a divine dragon, charging towards the 4 celestial venerables. Antares, he's out. Lin Moyu was overjoyed. This divine dragon was Antares, he couldn't be mistaken. However, it was not Antares' true body, but an incarnation of his will. The will transformed into a divine dragon, pouncing on the 4 celestial venerables. The heavenly dragon also let out a low roar, his entire body trembling with excitement, dragon roars echoing from his mouth. Seeing this scene, Zhu Tianyan was stunned, opening his mouth but unable to say anything. The 2 supreme-level divine dragons beside him were even more terrified, as if they had seen something horrifying. The divine dragon transformed by Antares' will was incredibly terrifying, far surpassing the celestial venerables. The 4 celestial venerables' faces changed dramatically. Not good, run. They wanted to escape, but suddenly all 4 of them trembled, standing still like wooden chickens. Soul attack. Lin Moyu saw that Antares had launched a soul attack, rendering the 4 immobile. The divine dragon then passed through them, and the 4's auras rapidly declined, losing all vitality in an instant. The 4 celestial venerables died just like that, their souls annihilated. The divine dragon turned its head to look at Lin Moyu, then returned the way it came, disappearing. Lin Moyu's eyes were filled with contemplation. He transmitted to the heavenly dragon, is Antares not out yet? The heavenly dragon thought for a moment, then slowly nodded. He should be close, but he has been watching this world and can already attack across worlds. Clearly, he is about to come out, attacking across infinite distances and worlds, instantly killing celestial venerables. Antares' strength far exceeded Lin Moyu's imagination. Antares was not just a celestial venerable, at least a Tao venerable. Only a Tao venerable could be so terrifying. Thinking of what Antares had said before, wanting him to accompany him to attack the dragon clan. With his current strength, he was too weak. Any random celestial venerable dragon could kill him, let alone talk about attacking the dragon clan. I'm still too weak. Lin Moyu sighed softly. The heavenly dragon said, "You think you're weak? You're already strong enough. Haven't you been cultivating for just a few years? You're at a monstrous level. A monster saying he's weak. I don't know what you're thinking. Do you want others to live?" Lin Moyu smiled. "I'll take that as a compliment, thank you." The heavenly dragon snorted. "I'm just telling the truth, don't flatter yourself." At this moment, Zhu Tianyan flew over, looking at the heavenly dragon, and asked bluntly, "What do you plan to do?" The heavenly dragon snorted, "Mind your own business. If those guys want to find me, let them come, as long as they can find me. When you go back, tell those old guys in the clan that the crown prince is coming back soon, tell them to wash their necks and wait. Not just them, but their descendants too, every single one of them, be prepared. If they want to escape, they better do it quickly, don't regret it when it's too late." Zhu Tianyan's expression became serious. "Are you sure the crown prince will do this?" The heavenly dragon laughed cruelly. "Think about it, has the crown prince ever broken his word? I advise you, don't choose the wrong side." Zhu Tianyan seemed to be recalling the past, his expression becoming more serious. The heavenly dragon laughed even more happily. "You can leave now, don't come looking for me again, I'm leaving soon too." Zhu Tianyan sighed. "Take care then." He left the great world with the two supreme-level divine dragons. After they left, the heavenly dragon said, "I have to go too, we will meet again." Lin Moyu nodded slightly. "Take care." At this moment, the heavenly dragon suddenly transmitted, "Remember, don't let anyone know about the 10-colored dragon soul crystal. If you meet the crown prince in the future, you can tell him, maybe he can help you hide it." After saying this, he let out a dragon roar and also left, breaking through the world's barrier. The starry sky suddenly became incredibly quiet. The crisis of the battle realm had been resolved, even the people behind it were dead. Lin Moyu now had 5 celestial venerable corpses, which were his trump cards. Even when facing celestial venerables, he now had confidence. Looking at the silent starry sky, Lin Moyu's eyes showed a hint of killing intent. "Time to kill." Mu Nanur asked curiously, "Are you planning to counterattack now?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "There's still a sneaky guy not dealt with. Didn't you notice, the 4 origin divine beasts and the supreme of 100 battles are all gone?" Mu Nanur had been focused on the battle and hadn't noticed anything unusual. Now that Lin Moyu mentioned it, she realized that the 4 origin divine beasts and the supreme of 100 battles had all disappeared. She immediately asked, "Where did they go?" Lin Moyu said, "They went back to the domain. There's a pest attacking the human race. Now that the battle realm's problem is solved, it's time to deal with them." Shortly after the war with the battle realm began, the origin divine beasts received information from the great world that someone was attacking the human race. Lin Moyu didn't need to think to know that the Buddhist clan had come. Over the years, the Buddhist clan had been hiding somewhere, and they hadn't been able to find them. Lin Moyu had to admire the Buddhist clan's hiding skills. However, he also knew that once the battle realm and the great world started fighting, the Buddhist clan would definitely jump out. They had always been eyeing the great world's origin, they wouldn't give up so easily. But the Buddhist clan probably didn't expect that the human star domain had set up the 10,000 stars array. Moreover, Lin Moyu had set up a backup plan to guard against the Buddhist clan. Not afraid of the Buddhist clan coming, just afraid they wouldn't come. If they didn't come, it would be a bit troublesome to find them. Sure enough, they came, and the 4 origin divine beasts immediately received the news. Lin Moyu let them go back first, he would handle the battle realm, no need to worry. Chapter 2359, 2359. Chapter 2359, The Great Shami Realm, Golden Lotus Buddha in the Human Star Domain, the 10,000 Stars formation erupted simultaneously. When the Red Star Supreme set up the 10,000 Stars formation, the Human Formation Masters followed behind. Although they couldn't set up such a powerful formation like the Red Star Supreme, they could make some minor adjustments to it. Formation techniques were something the human race excelled at. The formation masters pooled their wisdom and used a special method to link 10,000 stars formations together. The final result was that no matter where the battle erupted, the 10,000 stars formations could participate. In this way, the defensive power greatly increased, making the entire human star domain as solid as an iron barrel. Less than 10 minutes after Lin Moyu started the battle with the Battle Realm, the Buddhist clan arrived. A golden Buddha statue appeared, spreading golden lotuses everywhere. The lotuses transformed into Buddhist warriors, aggressively attacking the human race. The Great Shami Realm, the Golden Lotus Buddha of the Golden Light Great Sun has decreed that this realm is fated to be with this Buddha and should belong to this Buddha. Anyone who obstructs will be considered a demon and should be exterminated. Buddhist soldiers, raise your blades and perform the task of exorcism. Amitabha. With the chanting of Buddhist mantras, countless Buddhist soldiers transformed from golden lotuses charged towards the human star domain. These Buddhist soldiers all had the combat power of a half-step supreme. Without the 10,000 stars formation, the human race wouldn't be able to withstand them. The Red Star Supreme was integrated with the 10,000 stars formation. Wherever the formation was, he was there. With him presiding over the 10,000 stars formation, it could exert its maximum combat power. The 10,000 stars formation evolved into 10 giants, each with the combat power equivalent to a mid-level supreme. No matter how many Buddhist soldiers came, it was futile. The Star Elder, the Human Emperor, and all the human Saint Supremes appeared simultaneously. The Star Elder said in a low voice, Lin Moyu was right. The Buddhist clan indeed appeared at this moment. The Human Emperor said, that's why Lin Moyu had the Red Star Supreme stay here. With him in the 10,000 stars formation, there should be no worries. We just need to hold on until Lin Moyu returns. The Star Elder looked at the Buddha statue, his eyes cold, it seems he's in a hurry. The Human Emperor laughed, of course, if he can't obtain the origin before Lin Moyu returns, he won't have a chance. Whether the Battle Realm or Lin Moyu wins, it's not good for him. The Buddhist clan arrived without any prelude and started the battle directly, indeed in a hurry. Once Lin Moyu and the Battle Realm decided the outcome, the Buddhist clan would have no chance. Just as Lin Moyu thought, they were only fit for sneaky actions. The Buddha looked at the 10 giants, and his Buddhist soldiers transformed from golden lotuses couldn't break through for a long time. The golden light flickered, and he seemed a bit anxious. He formed a lotus shape with his fingers and shot out a golden light. The golden light transformed into a giant golden lotus, enveloping the Buddha statue and charging towards the 10,000 stars formation. The next moment, a massive pressure swept across the starry sky. All the human Saint Supremes, including the Star Elder and the Human Emperor, felt suppressed. The Red Star Supreme condensed into the image of an old man and said in a low voice, this pressure is close to that of a celestial venerable. Upon hearing this, the Star Elder and the Human Emperor's expressions changed simultaneously. They didn't expect the Golden Lotus Buddha to be so powerful, nearly reaching the level of a celestial venerable. A golden lotus as large as a star, carrying the Buddha statue, charged forward. The giants collided with the Golden Lotus Buddha statue. In an instant, the star river shattered, and the 10,000 stars formation trembled simultaneously. In the collision, the giant in contact with the Golden Lotus Buddha statue shattered on the spot. Along with it, the 10,000 stars formation it was part of, and 10,000 stars exploded simultaneously. The terrifying aftermath swept across the starry sky, and the Human Emperor and the Star Elder's faces changed dramatically. Be careful, the Human Emperor manipulated all his power to form layers of defense, blocking the aftermath. The Star Elder used secret techniques for defense, but their defenses were extremely fragile and collapsed at the first touch. If even they couldn't withstand it, the human Saint Supremes stood no chance. Facing the aftermath of the collision, the Saint Supremes realized how fragile they were. The Red Star Supreme manipulated the 10,000 stars formation, and the giants rushed over, shielding the Saint Supremes behind them, saving them from disaster. The Golden Lotus Buddha statue, with an incredibly powerful stance, shattered a 10,000 stars formation and charged into the human star domain, heading straight for the core. Space twisted, and the Buddha statue's speed was astonishing, far exceeding the speed of light, crossing infinite distances in an instant. No one expected the Buddha statue to be so aggressive, directly breaking through the 10,000 stars formation. This change exceeded everyone's expectations. The human emperor said in a low voice, "What should we do?" The Star Elder said, "We will go. The Saint Supremes don't need to go. Stay here and maintain the formation to resist the Buddhist soldiers." They knew that the Saint Supremes going would be useless. Not to mention the Saint Supremes, even if the two of them went, it wouldn't be of much use. About 1,000 light-years away from the human divine city, a peculiar faint light was flickering. When the collision and fusion of the two worlds began, this faint light appeared here. This was the exact center of the great world, without the slightest deviation. This faint light was also the origin of the great world. Normally, the origin wouldn't be exposed, but now that the two worlds were colliding, the origin naturally manifested and became the core of the struggle. Not only the great world, but the origin of the battle realm had also manifested. Until the two sides decided the outcome, the origin would remain exposed. The origin was very strong and couldn't be easily shaken. Even a peak supreme couldn't do anything to the great world's origin. The origin's defense came from the entire world, from the beings within the world, and from everything. To obtain the great world's origin, one must first harm the great world, slaughter the beings within it, and reduce the origin's defense before finally acquiring it. Back then, the Black Blood Great Realm did the same, slaughtering a large number of humans, destroying countless star domains, and eventually launching the Black Blood Frenzy, leading to mutual destruction with the great world. Golden light shone from afar, piercing through the infinite starry sky, crossing the divine city, and rapidly approaching the great world's origin. The Golden Lotus Buddha saw the great world's origin from afar and chanted, "Amitabha, the origin of this world is indeed damaged." A voice suddenly sounded, "If the great world's origin wasn't damaged, you wouldn't have a chance." In the dim starry sky, a red light shone, and a star went from dim to bright, suddenly appearing and blocking the Golden Lotus Buddha's path. The Red Star Supreme's true body was hidden here, seemingly waiting for the Golden Lotus Buddha to arrive. The Red Star Supreme looked at him, "You didn't come with your true body, just a soul. Who gave you the courage to think you could take the great world's origin with just a soul?" The Golden Lotus Buddha clasped his hands together, "Benefactor, you cannot stop this Buddha. It would be better to step aside. If you are willing to take refuge in my Buddha, I can guide you to the great Shami realm and make you a great son under my Buddha." The Red Star Supreme sneered, "Don't you find your words annoying? I don't know what the great Shami realm is, but I know I'm the supreme of the great world. If you want the great world's origin, you'll have to kill me first." The Red Star Supreme erupted with a terrifying aura, unleashing all his supreme power, and the infinite starry sky was engulfed in red flames. The flames wove into a net, completely blocking the Golden Lotus Buddha's path. The Red Star Supreme's aura had reached the high-level supreme. In the Blood Spring Secret Realm, both the Red Star Supreme and the 100 Battles Supreme had gained many benefits. In ancient times, the Red Star Supreme was only a low-level Supreme. After 2 million years, he recovered from his injuries and cultivated to the mid-level Supreme. Now he had finally become a high-level Supreme. For a special Supreme like him, cultivation and growth were extremely difficult. Although his lifespan was incredibly long, breaking through to the celestial Venerable realm was almost impossible without a heaven-defying opportunity. The Red Star Supreme had promised Lin Moyu to guard the great world's origin, and he would defend it to the end. Chapter 2360, 2360. Chapter 2360. You're in trouble, Bald Donkey. The Golden Lotus Buddha once again chanted a Buddhist mantra, "Benefactor, this Buddha gives you one last chance. Step aside, or be eternally condemned to Avachi hell. You should know that you alone cannot stop this Buddha." The Red Star Supreme sneered, "Of course, I can't stop you, and the one who will stop you is not me." In the eyes of the Red Star Supreme, the Golden Lotus Buddha possessed power infinitely close to that of a celestial Venerable, and he certainly couldn't stop him. However, Lin Moyu had long made arrangements, and the one who would actually stop him was not himself. The Golden Lotus Buddha did not understand the Red Star Supreme's words. He did not see anyone else here. At this moment, a small ox flew out from behind the Red Star Supreme. Xiao Wu sat on the ox, shouting, "Bald Donkey, you're in trouble." Hearing the words, "Bald Donkey," the Golden Lotus Buddha's aura surged, and his anger flared, "Little girl, you seek death." In their great Shami realm, the term, "Bald Donkey," was extremely insulting. Especially when prefixed with, "stinky," even he couldn't help but burn with rage. Lin Moyu hadn't expected that a phrase he taught Xiao Wu from his previous life would be the greatest insult to the Buddhist clan. Xiao Wu didn't care about any of this. She pointed lightly at the golden lotus Buddha, and a world of rules appeared. Xiao Wu's world of rules was incredibly peculiar, with mist swirling around, and it seemed that anything could appear, a dazzling array of chaos. In fact, these were all manifestations of Xiao Wu's thoughts. The true world of rules was the mist of fortune. Xiao Wu's thoughts were erratic, and each thought would form an object in the world of rules, only to shatter and disappear. This was the power of the void. The golden lotus Buddha, who had been burning with anger, suddenly changed his expression upon seeing Xiao Wu's world of rules. A world of rules with the power of the void, comprehended by a saint sovereign, and used to construct a world of rules. In his great Shami realm, he had never heard of such a thing. How is this possible? The golden lotus Buddha's heart trembled, and he realized something was wrong. He didn't know which type of void power Xiao Wu had mastered, but he knew that any kind of void power was incredibly terrifying. The power of the void was fundamentally indefensible. As Xiao Wu pointed, the world of rules shattered into nothingness. Immediately, Xiao Wu's face turned extremely pale, and her aura plummeted. The golden lotus Buddha was momentarily stunned, not feeling any attack descending. No effect. Could it be due to the realm difference? This little girl is only a half-step supreme. Even with the power of the void, she can't harm me. That must be it. He had never dealt with the power of the void from a half-step supreme, so he could only guess. Xiao Wu's face was pale, her aura weak, but her eyes were smiling. You're in trouble. Xiao Wu, said it, you're in big trouble. The next second, the golden lotus Buddha's face suddenly changed. He felt his soul seemingly wanting to leave the golden lotus, with an impulse to return to the great Shami realm. This time, he had spent nearly 2,000 years sending a treasure from the great Shami realm to this place. This treasure was the golden lotus beneath him, a celestial venerable level treasure. Along with the treasure came his soul. Relying on this treasure, he could exert combat power close to that of a celestial venerable in the great world. He knew that there were no celestial venerables left in the great world, so he thought he could act recklessly and be invincible. Obtaining the world's origin was not supposed to be difficult. But now, for some reason, his soul seemed to want to return uncontrollably. The golden lotus Buddha roared, forming a seal with his fingers, and the golden lotus shone brightly, forcibly keeping his soul in place. However, the turmoil of his soul's return did not cease, affecting part of his combat power. He glared at Xiao Wu and shouted angrily, "What did you do?" Xiao Wu sneered, "I told you, you're in trouble. Anyone who opposes my master is in big trouble." The golden lotus Buddha's killing intent surged. This Buddha will cast your soul into the boundless Avachi hell, never to be reborn. A golden light shot out, transforming into an arrow aimed at Xiao Wu. The red star supreme erupted with flames, blocking the attack for Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu didn't care and patted the ox's head. "Niu, it's up to you." The ox mooed, "Don't worry." A complex ancient talisman flew out of the ox's mouth, and as it unfolded, powerful auras emerged from it. The starry sky shook continuously, and each aura was that of a peak supreme. The golden lotus Buddha was stunned. Stingrays. How is this possible? He couldn't believe that the ox had released stingrays. Each stingray had the power of a peak supreme, the same stingrays that the heavenly dragon had hunted. Lin Moyu had used the power of resurrection to revive these stingrays and then handed them to the ox. There weren't many stingrays, only 18, equivalent to 18 peak supremes. "Kill him," the ox commanded, and the 18 stingrays simultaneously shot towards the golden lotus Buddha, biting down. The stingrays' teeth were extremely sharp, capable of injuring even a dragon like the heavenly dragon. When the heavenly dragon went to hunt stingrays, he was bitten by them. The dragon clan's defense was already extremely strong among celestial venerables, but it still couldn't withstand the stingrays' teeth. Now, facing the golden lotus Buddha, he was even more defenseless. Moreover, the stingrays, after being resurrected, were even stronger than before. The golden lotus Buddha roared, the golden lotus blossomed, transforming into blades to kill the stingrays. He had killed stingrays before and knew their characteristics. Apart from their sharp teeth and incredible speed, they had no other advantages. If they were in the realm sea, he might still be wary. But now, in the starry sky, he wasn't afraid of the stingrays at all. Xiao Wu suddenly whispered, "Grandpa Red Star, let's retreat quickly." Although puzzled, the Red Star Supreme followed Xiao Wu's advice and immediately retreated with them. Previously, Lin Moyu had instructed him to guard this place and also had Xiao Wu and the ox come here, saying it was a backup plan. Lin Moyu's real task for him was not to guard the origin but to guard Xiaowu and the ox. Now he understood that this was Lin Moyu's backup plan. Watching the stingrays entangle the Golden Lotus Buddha in a fierce battle, Xiaowu smiled softly, he's in trouble. The ox mooed, he's finished. As the Red Star Supreme was still puzzled, a stingray was killed by the Golden Lotus. Then, with a loud explosion, the freshly killed stingray exploded on the spot, its power sweeping across billions of miles of starry sky. Space shattered, and the shockwave hit. The Red Star Supreme roared, unleashing all his power to block the impact. Flames erupted from his body, illuminating the starry sky. Xiaowu and the ox, having anticipated this, hid behind the Red Star Supreme at the first moment. In the boiling flames, the Red Star Supreme was shocked. Fortunately, he now had the strength of a high-level Supreme, barely blocking the shockwave. If it were the ancient times, this single explosion would have been enough to kill him. The stingray exploded upon death. The explosion's power was incredibly close to that of a celestial venerable. If he was in such a state, the Golden Lotus Buddha at the center of the explosion must be in a worse condition. After the explosion, Xiaowu poked her head out, I told you, he's in trouble. The ox said, wow, the explosion's power is really strong. The starry sky continued to shatter, revealing a golden lotus that curled up to protect the Buddha statue within. It was clear that the golden lotus's light was much dimmer than before. The explosion had caused some damage to the golden lotus. The remaining 17 stingrays kept biting the golden lotus, causing it to shake and its light to dim further.